The paperwork.
One sec, guys. Don't just finish.
Why? The only reason that you would be telling me not to do that is if you thought I was lying. I am categorically.
You are lying.
150% telling you. Contact Mrs. Cherry.
Who is that?
From the coroner's office, and you will know who she is. And you
listen,
know,
that's lies.
Categorically, I am telling you, she was the one that gave the funeral directors the go-ahead.
Rubbish. I'm sorry. It's not true. No.
Listen, treat me like a liar.
I'm not treating. Honestly, I am an extremely empathic person, but Anne has taken up a lot of her time, and we've all been very sympathetic in the comments. But I'm sorry, you're not telling the truth, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call you out.
I can't see the comments, but I am telling you 200%. I don't give a shit what your qualifications are. I am telling you what I went through last March and April.
I'm sorry, you did not deal with the coroner.
By the 1st of fucking May last year, the funeral directors was calling me, and Mrs. Cherry, the head coroner, was giving us the go-ahead. So eat your fucking heart out. Go look Mrs. Cherry up and come back and tell me I'm fucking lying.
No,
because I'll tell you what, you will piss your pants and you will be offering me your sincere condolences and apologies when you find out she was the one that actually gave the go-ahead for my mother's fucking cremation. Yeah,
but the coroner doesn't need to give a go-ahead.
Yes, the fucking coroner does. The coroner does if there is a discrepancy in the Creme 1 form.
What was the discrepancy?
Go and look it up.
What was the discrepancy?
Let's not talk about that, because it's, Mum's not here, you know what I mean?
No, my mum isn't. But I tell you what, after fighting fucking 6 weeks because my brother lied on a Creme 1 form to have some fucking nobody turn round and call me a liar. When my mum had fucking...
Somebody's not a nobody, by the way. Somebody's not a nobody.
My mum had a husband and 3 other siblings that my brother lied about, and it took the fucking head UK coroner to give the go-ahead for my mum's funeral, and you sit there like a cunt and call me a liar.
I didn't call you a liar.
Oh, so
can I just ask you something?
What else would you fucking describe it as then? What?
Right, can I ask a question?
Yeah, guys, I think we're just...
Can I ask a question? Did you say your dad was your mum's next of kin?
My dad is my mum's next of kin, not is or was or suspected.
Right. Sorry, it was
and
the same
I've already
thing.
said that my mother lied.
So if I thought my partner had been involved in a car accident or had been took in hospital or blah blah blah, I'm my partner's next of kin. I can get any local hospital and give his details and say I'm his next of kin. Blah 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 is my partner there. You could have rung that hospital, whether she's in the morgue or I don't know what word to say on TikTok, by the way, Angie, I'm sorry, in the MORGE, and say, is my partner there? They have to tell you. That's his next of kin.
Can I just intervene there a minute? If her mum's passed away at home, she, and it was an expected passing, she wouldn't go to the hospital and she wouldn't go to the MORG.
No, she wouldn't.
She would go straight to funeral directors of the family member who is there at the time.
Thank you. And can you tell?
But still either way, the next of kin have known where they were.
Let's not ask any more questions about the mum. We're talking about the.
Angie, I'm sorry you're going to hate me for this. Angie, I'm sorry you're going to hate me for this, but can you let Tori up? I'm getting messages.
Yeah, guys, I will do.
I am sorry,
Angie. I just don't want too many boxes in, guys.
I don't want to ask anything about
and every time you keep in the comments saying put this person, I won't put them in because you stop doing it. I keep saying that because it makes me feel awkward. Sometimes I don't want to put people in.
I know. Sorry,
Can you also say what the procedure is Can you
want to
also
talk-
say what the procedure is if the person that rings up the funeral home and has your mum collected? Can you say what the procedure is if they say they are the only living relative, and then you go through a 6-week trial with coroners and medical examiners to prove you are a living relative? Oh, I'm sorry, that pissed on your bonfire, didn't it?
Is that in court?
can I ask you a
I don't want
question?
to. I don't
We
want
get the
to
Harleys
sue-
and guys.
I don't want to ask Sue any questions, and I
forgot
don't want to
mine,
talk
Leandra.
about a mum. I'm on about the
I've got mine
petition
in
that
love.
she's on about.
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's not. I don't really want to focus on your mum unless you're okay with people asking you questions.
I
But your
don't
mum's
want-
not here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't
no,
want
they
to
can
ask Sue any questions,
all right?
and I don't want to
Get your
talk
armies
about
in,
the
guys,
funeral.
by the way,
And
Auntie's
I
probably
just want
59.
to say about the petition. Please, the petition. It will never go ahead. The reason being is because you have child carers. Children that look after their parents that collect carers allowance from
At
DWP.
47 years old, they are not a child
Yeah, but
carer.
No,
listen
I'm
to
on
what they're
about
saying.
you get children looking after their parents who collect carers allowance from DWP. You will never get this passed because that means that child would need a CBS check. Yes, that's what you're saying. That's what you're applying for.
DBS checks anyway. There's millions of people out there that claim carers, and it would
And all
fall
I'm
onto the
saying is,
taxpayers
as
to pay for
Sue, you stated you get carers for your daughter. What would that prove then? That you would have to have a
You need to have
DBS
a
check
DBS
yourself?
I have a DBS.
I'm
So
just
I
saying.
have-
I'm just
and
saying.
right,
They won't.
Actually, I have an enhanced DBS.
Okay, yes, so have I,
It's not
because
good,
I'm
yeah.
so have I, because I'm a manager of a care home. What I'm saying is, it will never pass because there are children carers that look after their parents.
Oh, that's also
Someone said
what?
to me it's 18 plus for
No,
DBS
you
check.
get yeah, but you get child carers, Angie. You
No,
get
like
children
if-
looking
Can I ask you a
after and they
question?
claim
Disabled.
carers allowance.
But
Like
there
if
is
a
things
Does
if a
that
mother
mean
is
that
disabled.
children have to have a DBS check as well then? What she
I don't think
stated
there's any.
was-
Who's it?
Well, what
I
she
don't think there's
stated
any
was is
children
that-
that should be registered as a carer for
No,
their
Oh, there
parents.
is?
They
can,
should be
yeah,
over 18
yeah,
to claim.
Yeah,
from-
yeah, there is. Yeah.
Eight from as young as 8 can be classed as a carer
No,
to
they
a
cannot
parent.
receive.
Yes, they
No,
can.
they don't get
it.
paid.
Yes, they
They
can.
don't get paid.
What, from 8 years old? You're telling me that kids can claim?
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
Okay,
Right,
go and
it's
Google
for
it then. You
delusive
said
Dan,
No,
that.
this
I don't need to Google it. I've worked
Oh,
in
can I ask
children's
you a question?
homes.
Sorry, I can't see the rest of your name.
Lucy done on the case.
A child will maybe help their parents.
I've worked
So-
in children's homes and I've worked in
Delusive Dan,
adult
what
elderly
age can you
homes.
claim carers allowance
So, can I ask you a question?
in the
please?
UK?
Oh, I can't see the rest of your name.
Oh, me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you work in a
Googled
coroner
it, and it
office
said
or something?
it's 16 years old in the UK.
Thank
Do
you.
you work in that
In the
department?
UK, you can claim CARES allowance from the age
Sorry?
of 16. And
I'm asking, do you work in like that department?
So
What's
a
the coroner
16-year-old
Can I
is gonna
just
get a
can I just
DBS
stop you for a
check.
second? I found out, and at 16 you can claim
Yeah,
carers
thank you.
allowance.
Does that mean every child at 16 has to have a DBS check because they want to look after their parent? That's what
Yes.
Sue's stating.
Yes.
So if that child's got a
Absolutely.
criminal record for theft, let's say they've done a bit of choring now and again, what does that achieve?
Did it say choring or does it mean section
I'm
1 offences?
stating. I'm just
Section
saying. I'm
1.
throwing it out there.
Section 1.
Yeah, but you
And
can't
if you're
pick and
so
choose what you
clued
want
up-
to show.
If you're so clued up on what everything is and the legalities, which
I
you've
never
just
said I was
proven that you're
clued up.
not.
Can I say
Yes.
something really quickly? You know, I think people should focus more on these care homes that
Yeah.
are
And-
actually
yes.
abusing the elderly,
Yeah.
and for something to be done about that.
But
To
the
be
thing is,
fair,
Ange,
I
those
think that's
people
the
are not
Nine
focus.
Angie.
times out of 10, it's
And
family
children's
looking after
residential
family.
homes as well. Children's
With all due
residential.
respect, with all
Yeah.
due respect, if I could have moved my mom into a hospice,
Yeah.
it would have been problem solved because that's
I would have
24/7.
been to an
and
hospice,
anybody
with me, or I'd
can
afraid
tell
to work, go with me.
Can I just say something to you, Sue? And I'm glad you know, because I know that you missed some bits out, not deliberately, don't get me wrong, but I do understand your story more now about the financial abuse, because when you first came on, I know it's a little bit maybe nerve-wracking, not nerve-wracking, but when you're telling such a lengthy story, sometimes you might miss things out, not because, you haven't written it all down, but now I understand it a lot more than what I did, by the way. I just want to put that.
Can I
point
just
that
say
clear.
though, Angie,
Angie,
she's talking about.
it's not solely to do with the financial aspect. What it is to do with the limits of control that somebody can have in somebody attending, somebody not attending, stopping somebody from saying goodbye, somebody not stopping.
Yeah.
But then the slyness in what they're doing in the background, which is like emptying accounts, getting rid of
I thought that was
assets.
only after she passed. you
That's
see.
why you
My
got
mum
the
didn't
legal power
have
of
any
attorney.
assets, but for other people, they do have assets that these people can be getting rid of and stuff like that. And for my brother to be Section 1 offender, he should not have been allowed to care for my mum. And trust me,
Right,
there
so
was
can I ask a
Sue,
question?
can I just-
three
Sue,
other
can I
children.
Is this about setting a petition for siblings, parents, like
Anybody.
sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandsons,
Any relative,
any siblings to be able to look after the
any
older
relative,
generation
Mother and
any
child.
to have a
relative,
DBS,
any
to have a
relative.
DBS check, or
Yes.
is this regarding money?
Yes. No,
I
not
ask you
just
a quick-
money. Not just money. You're not getting it. It's
But
like
this is what you turned it out to sound like, so
no,
I'm not
it's
being awful, but you really have.
absolutely not.
So
To
if
do
financial
you've got a
abuse,
child that's under the age of 16 being looked after by their parent who is also their carer, how can you not call that financial abuse then?
Absolutely. I look after my daughter and I have done since day dot. And I have been a carer since day dot. She
Okay.
has Asperger's. She's
Okay,
autistic.
yeah.
She's thyroid absent. She's
You
had
don't need to go into the
multiple.
medical
Every bit of
details,
money
Sue.
of hers then you've put in a separate account and you've never
Yes.
ever touched it.
Yes.
You've never touched it.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just ask you guys a question?
Are you
really
going to call me
quickly?
a liar on that one as well? Go
Yeah,
for it.
guys.
I'm not saying anything. I just said okay.
Guys, can I
Yeah,
ask a,
it's
can I
not
ask a
what
question?
you say, it's the way you say it.
Okay.
Do not even
She asked you a
there.
question, sweetheart.
Yeah, guys, listen, and we don't know if it's about. You said it's not about money, so we've got to just take it the way as to what you said. But can I ask you a question? Right, just going off topic a little bit because I get this brain fog. I need to come out of it now. Ask the question now.
No, that's okay.
You know, when we talk about nursing homes, right, and also care homes, children care homes, because a lot of abuse goes on there as well, right? So shouldn't we be kind of also focusing on a solution as to stop the abuse in these kind of places?
Yeah, there is. Because, I mean, when you look at it, Ange, anybody that wants to work at a care home, a hospice, or any residential setting has to already have a DBS or an enhanced DBS.
But can I just intervene?
But
I
even with a
am actually a
DBS.
carer. Can I just say I'm actually a carer? I am DBS checked, enhanced DBS checked. All that means is that I don't have a criminal record as of
I
yet.
was just gonna, yeah, that's what I was
I haven't
thinking.
been caught.
The problem with
And
care
nothing is on
homes
my
and care
file.
and home care is that it's all about bums on beds. The
Yeah.
more money they and deputy manager of a care home, it's all about bums on beds.
Yeah.
Okay, so answer me this for the two that have just spoken. Yeah. It's all about bums on beds and it's all about enhanced DBS. Now, I'm enhanced DBS, right? Which means that I've got no quibbles. I've already been
But
accepted. at a
all
care
that means is that
home.
you've
Is that
not
I haven't been caught
out.
yet, right? But
You could have
if
gone
I-
on. You could have gone on and beat up 27 little old ladies. but
Yeah,
you've never
shut
been caught
up,
for
shut
it.
up.
No, I
Would
won't
you
shut
know
up.
that
Don't
No,
start
it's not
being
shut up,
rude.
right there.
One at a time,
Don't
guys.
start- So don't start being rude. I
I'm
was
not
talking.
being rude. But
Yes, you are.
if I was
No.
5 years prior already convicted of a Section 1 offence on a minor, would I be employed?
No.
Right, so,
I read
right, so
my
let me stop you there. Let me stop you there
papers.
because I've been dying to
But-
say this.
I
Please,
read
Angie, you can drop me
my
after this if you want, but let me ask you. So, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
If your brother had been done for a
Yep.
Section 1 offence on a minor,
Yep.
yeah, and your father was your mother's next of kin,
Yes.
maybe your father may have been deaf. Deaf, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I understand all that, but why on God's green earth didn't you get involved? Like you said, your sister travelled
I
16,000 or
did.
1,600, I
We
can't remember what it were,
all
miles.
did. And
She
that
also
is
said at the
why-
beginning,
and
Angie,
that
you know what
is
you
why
just said?
for
Me
me,
and
Sorry.
me,
Sorry.
guys,
I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
mute people because
That
she's
is
been asked a
exactly
question.
why-
So let Sue reply, please. Go ahead, Sue.
That is exactly why this petition needs to go ahead, because not only did the social workers ignore us, the police force,
That
yes,
petition
they
ain't going to go
attended.
anywhere, though, Sue.
Yes,
There's already
the social
things in
workers
place to protect
attended.
people.
No, because there
Let-
is
let her
no
finish, please.
protection. There is no protection against home carers with offences. We need to start the petition to get home carers checked
You
for
as a family, you as a family,
that are registered carers. I could hire Myra fucking Hindley to look after my daughter.
couldn't 'cause
And
she's
as
dead.
far as they're concerned, if the DWP are paying them as a carer,
Can
they
I
are
suggest something? Can I suggest something, Sue? Right, in
Yeah,
regards to carers and things, because someone did mention in the comment, and I thought that's a good idea. Is for first of all, carers to have cameras in their house, not in the bedrooms, but in the house, right?
Yeah.
And
not
also for
always
kids.
legal. Yeah, we tried it, Ange, and 90% of the time, you cannot use it as legal evidence unless you notified the carer that the cameras are there. Work that fucker out.
Well, I suppose some people might not agree with it being in their house, but however, it's no,
Exactly.
I think you know these care homes, because they do have cameras, a lot
Yeah.
of them, don't they?
Angie,
And these
can I just-
children's homes.
can I just
say
say, you
one
know,
thing?
in a
I
school-
believe someone just once said. Well, someone said in the comments. I thought it was a good idea is for the staff to wear cameras.
And
So
yeah,
I
you know,
think
in a
that's a
school,
good
there is a
Like the police
teacher-
force, Angie, you
in
have
a
to
school,
notify
there is
the
a-
carer they are being recorded. And me and
in
my
a school,
auntie both
there is a
tried
child
it.
teacher
Body cam,
ratio. Yes, in a school there is a teacher child ratio. In a care home and care home settings, there is no ratio, which means that you can have 3 carers looking after 20 people
Yep.
on one floor, which means that they are underpaid and overworked.
And
Can I
at
just add as
home,
well?
all they need to prove is that they are working 35 hours a week.
Can I
And
just add
there
as
is
well, Ange,
no
with
check.
your question
Angie.
about the cameras?
Angie,
as a
you
carer,
could
I
turn
wouldn't-
round.
Sue,
You
will
could
let
turn
someone
round
else speak?
tomorrow and turn round and say, I'm a carer for my mum. I work 35 hours a week, and they'll go, okay, we'll pay you £390 a month. There is no checks, no nothing. So long as your mum is registered as disabled, they will pay you 35 hours a week.
Right, so
There
can
is
I ask you
zero
a
check.
question?
Can I just
Go
say
on.
one thing
Just
quickly?
go into your
Sunshine,
personal camera.
make any more comments in here, you're going to be blocked. This lady Sue is happy to be here. We're having a discussion, a debate. Sometimes it gets a little bit heated, but all these boxes, are these boxes happy to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you can all jump down, right? Sue is happy to she's also getting out what she wants to get out here. People are also going to follow her for her petition. So it's also benefiting her. But she can drop down at any time. Stop with the comments. Thank you. Carry on, guys.
Can
I'm
I
not
just
bothered
say,
about
Sue,
Angie,
can I
with
ask a
regards to your
question?
At the end of the
point
day-
about the cameras, the personal
Angie,
cameras.
I'm not
can I
bothered
just
about the
say-
abuse, because at the end of the day, they don't know what I went through. They don't know what my dad went through, and they certainly don't know what my mum went through.
Right.
Do you know
Can I
what I
just
mean?
say about the personal cameras?
And all I
Ange,
can
please?
say is that I really, really have
Jesus
condolences
Christ.
there. But if you knew what your mum was going through, and you knew what your brother had been previously
What did you want me
convicted
to
of,
do?
which
Go
was-
kick in my mum's back door and
You know
make
what,
it-
No,
though,
no, no,
Sarah?
make
Can I,
it
wait,
upset.
wait, can I just say something in regards to that? I think we should move on from that because a few people have mentioned that her mum's not here anymore. Let's not make her feel
I understand that,
certain
but
way.
she
Do
could
you know
have
what I
been there
mean?
more for a mum.
You know
My
what?
mum
Yeah,
could have been
but
there for
however,
more
I
anger.
get what you're saying, and we have moved on from that. I just
Angie,
feel that we don't want to
Angie.
make her feel guilty because her mother's not here,
Angie, can I just say, my mum was dying. She had hours to live. What do people want me to do? Go kick in the door?
Listen,
close
Sue,
an
I don't
argument,
think anyone should
turn
comment.
it into a massive domestic with half a dozen police officers
Yeah.
there while my
Listen,
mum's
Sue,
taking her last
your mum's
breath?
not here, and I
No.
don't feel that it's something you might. I don't know whether you feel that sometimes, and you shouldn't feel that guilt. So because your mum's not here, so let's
My
not talk on
mum
that. Guys.
died with peace.
So
She didn't have
So,
the
can I ask
argument
you a
that she generally had. And I am grateful for that,
Yeah.
and I am gutted for that at the same time. Because if there is one place on earth I wanted to be, it was holding my mum's hand.
yeah. So
Yeah.
can I please ask, have you ever been offered any sort of, bereavement counselling or anything,
haven't.
just to talk?
And I'm
There
not
is-
ready for it because my mum's died and I'm numb. I might cry every now and again, but do you know what? Until somebody is held accountable for what my brother did and what he put her through for the last 12 weeks of her life, I won't settle. Because I think that if there is one thing the government need to enforce, I admire any home carer, any young home carer, anybody else that takes pressure.
Oh,
off
I
the
do as well.
NHS,
It's not an easy
but I
job.
will not admire somebody that sits on the phone and turns round to my mum's sisters and goes, she's on her way out.
I think,
When he had
Sue,
to
I think
keep
the
in there
problem
just
is
12
that-
hours.
Can I
Hello?
just say to
It's
Sue?
Snowy owl
Can
at
I
the
just say
top.
to Sue? And I don't want to. I just think it's horrible what you've been through. It's horrible what your mum's been through. I just think the petition's going to be really hard because it's family looking after family.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part. And it's
No,
like
it's
I said,
not.
you've got.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it is.
If you've
It
got
is. It
nothing
is
to
gonna be.
hide, if you've got
But then
nothing to
people are not going to
hide,
want.
why would you object
I'm being
to
the
a
devil's advocate.
DBS?
That's all, and I'm just saying it's going to be hard to get somebody, a mother looking after their child, saying you need a DBS check to look after your child. Hold on, that's my child. I'm already looking after it. I just want to claim carer's allowance because it's disabled, but you
Maybe-
still need a DBS check. That's
Maybe
all
at the end of the day, that would also stop a lot of abuse that goes on with
Maybe
parental
so.
abuse
I'm just
towards their
saying.
children.
I just don't think. I understand why you're doing it on your
trying,
perspective.
Justica.
I really do. I just don't think that it's going to go anywhere, sweetheart. I really
Why?
don't.
I've
Because
looked after
you-
my
you've
daughter
got
for the past 24 years.
Yeah, so have
I
I
got
done.
no
I've got a
objections. They can
30-year-old
do a
son.
DBS. Yeah.
I've got a 30-year-old son that I'm a carer for, that I have been since he was 3. All I'm saying is,
There you go. Would you object
I've
to a
got nothing
DBS?
to hide. I have got nothing to hide, but I am not everyone, and neither are you. All I'm
Would
saying is
you,
that
would you object to a DBS?
sweetheart, I've had a DBS check because I'm
No,
a
so
manager
you
of a
wouldn't
care home.
object. So you wouldn't
No, but
object.
I am not everybody, am I?
No, and
neither are
have
you.
got a
And all I'm saying is you're
24-year-old
going to
daughter,
get people
and
out
I
there
wouldn't-
that are going to
the
go,
only
I'm not going to
people-
have a DBS check because it's my mum. I'm not
The
going to have a
only
DBS check
people-
because it's my brother or it's my child.
Right, can
The
I
only
just
people
interrupt
that
now?
would
Can I just
object
have a
to
little
DBS
say,
is those that have got something to hide.
Right, anyone that objects to a DBS, yes, I agree, Sue, they've got something to hide. But
There you go.
from a family standpoint, I don't agree with the DBS because there is lasting power of attorney, which you apply for as the family member, or anyone can apply for it with the person's consent.
I have
And
that.
can,
Yep.
that can cover you financially and your property, and it can also cover your health. Now, I would recommend anybody who has got an ailing relative to at least get the health power of attorney.
No,
Because one of
I've
our-
got
hang on,
power
one
of
minute.
attorney over my son's health and well-being and his finances.
Yeah,
And
do you
I
know-
have
he's-
over my
he's come-
daughters.
Right.
Yeah, do you-
I
do you
would
know what,
recommend that
Dolly?
anybody with an ailing family member or even a friend at least takes out the health part of the lasting power of attorney.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, and that person ends up in a care home, then the social have full control over what happens with that person.
No,
If
they
you've got
don't.
yes, they do. We've had
Sorry,
this
Sue.
situation.
She's
No, they
correct.
don't. Not if
I've
you are
had this
next of kin.
situation. I've had
correct.
this situation personally.
She's
Not
correct.
Now-
if you are registered next of kin.
No, she's
That
correct.
means
Sue.
nothing. That means
correct.
nothing.
But
Honestly,
I
it means
actually,
nothing.
I have one.
Our family could not even decide what care company was coming in, how many times a day, or what those carers were allowed to do. It was all in the hands of the adult social care. Honestly, I would not give you false information. I will only speak on factual things that I know about.
Power of
because I
attorney
know
over
It's
my
actually
auntie.
maybe good for a lot of
And my
people in
cousin
the
is
chat.
joint.
And it's maybe good
Financial-
for a lot of people in
Financial power of attorney works when somebody's got assets. So, like, if you've got a family member that's paid out their mortgage and they've got 100 grand in the bank, you need to take financial power of attorney.
Yeah,
Because if
that's
you
what I'm
don't-
saying. My
because if you
auntie.
don't, that's when the social services come in and they start taking control of it all. You need to have those things in place. You
That's what
don't
I'm
need
saying.
the DBS. The
I've got
DBS
power of
will not help
attorney
you
with
that.
my auntie, but I am also joint because her brother passed away last year. I took over from her brother, but my cousin is like the first power of attorney. I've never dealt with shit like that.
You can have as many power of attorneys as you want, but it
Yeah,
all
which is what I mean. She had to. Her brother passed away, so she asked me if I'd step in his shoes, which I was like, yep, fine. I've never dealt with anything
But
like
this
that
is all
before.
there to protect that person.
But
Yeah.
my mom didn't have that because she didn't have assets. She
She
didn't
had
have
£6,000
money
in the bank. You said your brother took it.
No, listen, 20 grand nowadays. Come on, really?
That's assets.
Can I just
That's
ask a
assets.
question? It's a
Can
bit
I
off
just say
topic.
quickly, if anyone wants a box, can you put it in the comments, okay? And if I
Can I
haven't
just-
seen it, let me
Yeah.
know, mods. And also give
And-
everyone in the boxes a follow, guys.
That's
Can I just ask a
£10,000
question?
need
Would you,
protecting.
Angie, would you say that 20 grand, listen, 20k in the bank is really a lot to have next of kin, power
That's
of
enough.
attorney? And
That is
I mean,
enough
it's
for
good
a
money.
person.
20k is good money,
No,
but it's
that's
not a
enough
lot.
for you.
As
20k
an
Just
inheritance,
goes
it's
to the
on a
no.
next
house.
of kin.
I think
20k just goes to your next of kin. Now, if you're looking at
Yeah.
50,
I wouldn't
or
say it's a
100
huge
grand,
If
inheritance.
my
I mean, it's good
parents had
money.
£20,000 in the bank, if my parents had 20 grand in the bank, I would insist that they had legal power of attorney.
No,
Can I just ask a
16.
question?
I don't
Listen,
want
if
to
you've
know.
got
He said,
Let me
Sue
finish.
said no
Let
one
me
knew
If you've
about
finish.
got,
the
if
money.
you've
Let
got
me finish,
16k
let me
in the bank,
finish.
You're all talking
Let
over
me
each other.
finish.
Yeah,
You're all
yeah.
talking
Thanks,
over
Tori.
each
One at a
other.
time, please. Can I just say something about power of eternity? Eternity. I keep saying eternity. My mod eternity. Power of attorney. Sorry. The thing is that if somebody was to get that, they have so much power.
But
Oh,
that
they have
only-
so much power of ever.
that
They
only-
can do
can I
what
just
they
say,
want.
Ange,
They can
that-
take the
no,
money.
no,
They
no,
can
no,
make
no.
all the
No,
decisions.
Ange, please stop. No, they can't. You can only withdraw money from the bank account of that person with their
Probate.
consent to pay for their regular bills that they would normally pay for,
Yep,
to
right.
buy clothes that they
It's
need.
not just about money, though, is it? That's what I'm
Well,
trying to
no.
say. It's not just
once
about
that
money. It's
person
about
passes
having the
away,
power of
but
making that
once-
decision.
But once that person passes away, that
And-
legal power of attorney, it ceases with them. So that
That
person who holds
minute.
the legal
Yeah, but
power
what
of
I'm
attorney
what I'm
cannot
trying to
touch
say.
anything then.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, it's not just about money having a power of attorney. It's about making decisions. And when you have that
That's
power
a
of
separate
attorney, sorry, you can actually make decisions. You know,
But
for
there's
that
the
family
two
member
sep-
that you
there's
cannot
two-
change.
I couldn't
There's
get that
two
from my
separate
mum
ones,
because obviously
Ange.
she couldn't
Mm.
speak.
There is
The
two
thing is-
separate
So can I just ask a
classes of
question
power of
quickly?
attorney.
'Cause
There's
I've been-
wealth and financial.
And can I also say, I know a lot about power of attorney. I'm not going to go into it, but however, we found it really hard. And, you know, I don't know how to say this, like, even like if you were married, right? And your parent gives that a power of attorney to a family member, that even that the wife or the husband loses the making that decision
But it has
because
to
that
go through-
that family member has
It
has
to
all
be
that
done
power.
legally, though, Ange. It has to be done legally. You have to apply for it.
Oh
You
no,
have
I'm
to
not.
pay
Yeah,
to
of
have
course.
it
I'm
done.
saying once it's done
And it
legally.
makes-
What I'm just trying to say
makes
is, for
more
example,
sense
can I
to
just
have
say
more
this
than
as an
one.
example? Say I'm married to someone, right, and I decide, and I've got a child, and I'll give my child that power of attorney, so they can now make decisions when I'm alive, and well, if I'm, you know, it depends, right? so they can make those decisions,
They can.
right? And they can
No,
actually
wait.
get it when I'm dead as well.
No,
So
they
they can
can't
make
get
the
it when you're dead.
decisions.
They can't get it when you're dead, Ange.
Yeah,
You
they
look it up.
can.
Ask Elusive Dan. Ask
Uh,
Can I
Elusive
ask a
Dan.
question?
You can.
You
Sorry.
can't, and I know for a fact.
Can I just say you can because we got one,
I work
and I'm
in
not
this,
going to go
Ange.
into it, but you can. And my father was not here.
No, I work in this, so I know.
Well, that's
you
fine
can't
because
even
we got
when you are alive. Even when you are alive, yeah, for them to have power of attorney over your
when
finances,
maybe I'm
they
maybe
have
you're
to have written proof.
What
think
I'm
you're
trying
thinking
to
of a will, aren't
sorry,
you?
you're probably misunderstanding me here. So when someone passes away and you get a power of attorney, like say for example, there's an investigation or something in regards to your loved one that's passed away.
There's no
Yeah,
expiry date on an
those
LPA.
decisions will go to so
There's
that
no
person will
expiry
have that
date.
power of attorney over the documents, over all those kind of
And
things.
there's
you
no
talking about
expiry
because
date on an
even
LPA
when you are
apart
alive,
from when the
Ange,
person passes away. Ask Elusive Dan, I promise you.
Say that again.
There is
Yes.
no
Sorry, Ange,
expiry
was you
date
on
No,
on
he's
about
right.
the
an
executor?
LPA.
So I
Apart
have.
from when the person passes, it ceases
Sorry,
with them.
Ange.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
Yes,
ask
No,
correct.
I never said when they're alive. I said you can get it when they've passed.
Ange,
No, you can't.
even when you are
Can I
alive,
say something, please?
that person has to prove
Okay.
that you are not in sound mind or body to be able to make financial decisions.
You have
For
to.
yourself.
I'm not.
You have to
But
make the agreement
a
when they
power,
are
a
Angela.
power of
sound mind.
attorney can be anything. You know,
No,
you
Angela.
can have a
no.
decision over the paperwork, court cases. You can.
It's not.
Angela, wait, Sue, one sec.
But like, guys, my father passed. My mother signed over power of attorney.
Delusive
Yeah.
Dan will
I
tell you
keep thinking of power of eternity.
power of eternity ceases. Power of eternity ceases when the person is
Yeah.
deceased. I promise
Are you on
you.
about
Ask
the
The second they
executor?
die, it no longer exists.
No, but what?
Can I say
but-
something?
No,
Go
what
on,
I'm
I'll
talking
let you.
about, I suppose, is where my mother, I suppose, has given that power of attorney, right? In
Yeah.
regards to her
But you're
husband.
not giving it. You have to apply for it legally.
So my
You have
mother
to pay
has,
for
yeah.
it.
So my mother applied for that, right, to
Through a
give
solicitor,
that
yeah.
power of attorney to a family member.
No, your
Right.
mother
As soon
can't
as she
apply for
Chloe,
it.
passes
please stop talking over Ange. You've been doing it all night.
I suppose it's my mother actually giving it, not my father.
Yeah,
if that makes
no.
sense, because my father's gone.
Yeah, your mum can't apply
I should
to
have
Can I
made,
say-
yeah, I should have made
Or
that
your
clear.
father's
Sorry, I've been
allowed
on
to
it
give
all day.
someone else. Your
Yeah.
mum would have to apply for it herself for him, and he would have to be sound of mind to go along with it. He has
Yep.
to sign it as well. He has to be
Yes.
sound of mind at the same time.
Yes, Ange. So I
No,
have one for my.
second-
Sorry, Ange. Go ahead.
Oh God.
No, I was just going to say, when she got that was in regards to my father who's
Yeah.
passed.
There is the
Yeah, so that's
execution of
basically
the
what
will as well, Ange. That's a
Snowy,
separate thing.
Snowy,
No, he didn't have a will. He didn't have one.
Snowy.
The second he passes, that
Don't-
power of attorney ceases to exist. It's the same as me with my
No, he
auntie.
didn't have it when. No, you're not understanding. He didn't have it when he was alive. It was not really him applying for it. It was my mother. So it was taking my mother's decisions away from her and giving it to someone else in regards to my father, in regards to other things.
Yeah, but
Basically, there was a court.
regardless, Angie, to who holds that power of attorney,
Yeah.
the second that your mom or
understand.
your dad passes, that ceases to exist. You see, it's the same with me and my auntie. She
Yeah, it
is,
was afterwards. Yeah.
how can I put it?
He's a millionaire.
She's a millionaire, yeah.
Basically,
Now, I
basically,
am
Angie,
her-
your mum was your dad's next to kin.
My
And your mum got
auntie-
your dad's house but handed half it over to you. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, let's Torian speak.
My aunt is
Can we
a
have a-
millionaire, and when she dies, up to now, I am her power of attorney. I take her to all her hospital appointments, doctor's appointments. I have to travel from south to north weekly. Now, when she dies, my cousin is primarily her next of kin, but I am joint power of attorney. She made me joint to make sure that her wishes are carried out. Does that make sense? Now, when she dies, the second she dies, that power of attorney is null and void. It doesn't matter. It just means that any financial decisions that need to be made before she passes, whether it be a care home or whatever, care at home, that me and my cousin have to jointly agree on if she isn't in sound mind. As it is, she is. Do you know what I mean? And she is the cockiest, most independent woman that you'd come across. But if the time come where she wasn't in sound mind, then it's down to me and my cousin to make them decisions whether or not a care home or a hospice would be more acceptable and more appropriate for her care. The minute she dies, that ends. That ends.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
it's
No,
down to
I'm
her
talking about
solicitor.
afterwards, and it wasn't actually about my father, it was my mother.
Can I just ask a question, just and then I can get out of the box? I don't know if any if you work in like the Coroner Office or anywhere
No,
like that.
I don't. No, I
Oh,
don't.
right.
And
I just
yeah.
don't. I just want to ask this because I've been stuck with this for 8 years since I lost my daughter. Is it right to have a parcel come to your door in like a little coffin box with my daughter's lungs and heart in it?
No,
No,
it's
definitely
definitely
That's
not.
what I've got sitting on my side for the
No,
last
That's
8 years.
awful.
absolutely
What?
fucking
It's
not.
in gel. It's in like a wax sort of thing, and the slides where they examined it or whatever they did to it. That I've got about 20 pieces of her heart and lung.
Did
my
you
goodness.
request?
No,
Was there an
nothing.
autopsy?
No, there wasn't an autopsy because my daughter used to say to me, "Mum, if I have to have open heart surgery, please don't let me have it." So I didn't want
Absolutely
to have
not.
nothing.
I'm
But
so
they had
Absolutely
sorry.
I'm a bit
not.
confused about that, though.
If it's not being requested, then no, absolutely not. That should have all have been
No.
produced and supplied before the actual cremation or burial.
No,
I'm so
they
sorry.
I had it delivered to my house. It was unbelievable.
No, I would contact the medical examiner and turn around and say that you want an investigation into why this has been delivered to your door when it is not been requested. Make
I was
sure
asked if I wanted her
stipulate
clothes
not
back.
being requested.
I was asked if I wanted her clothes and that back, and I said yeah. But then one day I had a knock at the door, and it was literally like a little box, like a shape like a coffin.
Listen,
And that's what was
personal
in it.
belongings is a little bit different to internal
Exactly, yeah.
organs. Yeah.
How come it was at heart and lungs?
She had a blood clot to her lung, and she had
What was it?
pulmonary
Just those
embolism.
organs?
yeah, just it was like little bits
come-
about as big as 10
So
pence
she's
pieces.
had an autopsy.
Absolutely not. And do you know what? That should have, if anywhere,
So
it
you're
should have been
interrupting.
delivered
The
to
lady was
funeral
speaking to
directors
you.
and not to you.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
So she didn't have an autopsy, but did she want to donate her organs?
No, because she was only 19. Her heart was too enlarged. We didn't know that anything was wrong with her. She one day had a bad chest. She went into hospital. They said to her she's got pneumonia, and they sent her home. She ended up going back in because she just kept on vomiting. They said it's a blood clot. Then they treated it for a blood clot. Then they stopped the blood clot and said no, it's something wrong with your heart. And they sent her home on medication. Then she had to go for a MRI in Kettering. My daughter told me that she didn't go through with the MRI because she was too scared. She was too claustrophobic, sort of thing. So I said, what's going to happen now then? And she said, oh, they're going to call me back. She come home that day. She got into bed, and my kids have got a thing about showing their feet or anything. Bearing in mind, she'd come back from living with her boyfriend, so she'd come and stay with me for 3 months. And within that 3 months, she passed. And the ambulance, do you know, I don't get me wrong, I think they're amazing what they do, but I had a bloke and a woman, and they made my daughter walk down the stairs, and she said to him, I can't breathe. I never knew what was going on. My daughter got to the bottom of that stairs and she dropped, and that was it, gone. And they couldn't resuscitate her or anything because of there was no I don't know what they call it, but like, you know, like there wasn't a little heartbeat, or there was no rhythm, just so they could shock her. So literally she died and I to this day I still think to myself they should have kept the oxygen on her, because she went once My mum got her back, and then she went again, and there was like ambulances, aircraft, helicopter. They would come in these bright orange suits. I never knew what was wrong with my daughter. I just kept on saying to her, "Let me please take you back to the doctors," and she said no. Till this one day, this happened, and then when I went to see what she passed of, they said it was Sharice knew what was wrong with herself, but she didn't tell me because she was 19, and nobody else could tell me because she was old enough.
Sorry to
I'm
hear
sorry
that,
to
ma'am.
hear about
Yeah,
that.
that's
Should she
sad.
have an
You see,
So she had an autopsy then?
After she passes, they should legally have told you what was
Wait,
wrong.
Sue, I'm so
One
sorry.
sec,
Can we hear?
One sec, Sue.
Yeah,
Sue,
please.
She
Sue,
had an
one sec.
is it a palm? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. They call it an EP, a pulmonary embolism. So we found out her heart was too enlarged, and they said it was too enlarged for her body, and she had a blood clot to the lung, which obviously affected. That's what she died of with this. It's just cardiac arrest straight away, and obviously they couldn't get her back. She didn't want but she kept on saying to me, "Mum, please don't let me have open heart surgery." And I said, "What do you mean? Why you got to have open heart surgery? There's nothing wrong with your heart." But she knew there was something wrong, but she never told any of us.
Was your daughter married?
No.
No, so you would have.
Can I ask?
You would have been her next of kin. So the
Yes, I
hospital.
was, but she was 19. They said there
And
It
was
we
makes no
breathe.
difference. After your
'Cause
daughter
Andrew's gonna
passes, you are
explode in a
still
minute.
her next of kin. So
One
you
sec,
should have
one
been
sec. We've got to get
notified.
past the little. We've got to get. We give us a time. We've got to get past what they delivered to her door.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. At 19, if your daughter wasn't married, you would automatically be her next of kin.
Not
So they
necessarily,
should have
Sue. She
questioned
could
you,
put it
and
on
they
her
should have.
hospital forms.
No, because she
Anybody.
had it written down. She didn't want nobody to know nothing.
She could
So I
put
couldn't.
anybody down as a next of kin in the
Can
hospital.
we hear from her? Like, it's her
Yeah,
story,
one sec.
man.
Yeah, please go.
It,
Oh
I
my
couldn't.
I'm gonna put them in
God.
the big box. No one
They
speaks
wouldn't.
while she's.
They wouldn't tell me anything. What was wrong with Sharice? She kept on saying to me, "Mum, I'm okay, but please don't let me have open heart surgery. Please don't let me have open heart surgery." I couldn't get my head round it, and then she said to me, "I've got to go to the hospital." So we had to go to Kettering. Like I said, she had to have an MRI, and she didn't. She told me she didn't have the MRI, but she was in there
Sorry.
long enough to have the MRI. If you know what I mean. So anyhow, she come out of there and she seemed a bit flustered and everything. We got back in the car and I said, "What are they going to do then?" Because I offered to go in with her, but because it was in one of them outside porter things, like, you know, the big things not inside the actual hospital, you know, like they get one of these, it's like an end of a lorry, isn't it, where they, you know, can't think of the name of it. So they couldn't let me in because there wasn't enough room in there. So I said, "That's okay." But she was in there for what? Oh God, I'd say over a good hour. And then she came out and told me she couldn't have it done. They were going to rewrite to us and say that she's got to go again. But when I first got to the hospital, they put her in a wheelchair and raced her off. Now, I asked questions, "Can I come with her? What's going on?" They would not tell me a thing. They said, "Your daughter's 19. She's able to talk. She's able to talk for herself. There's no way we can discuss your daughter's business." Now, I just thought she had pneumonia or whatever they were treating her for when we went to the hospital. And because every time she got admitted into hospital, they said it was pneumonia. Then they said it was a heart. Then it was it was so many things going on. And she never actually got treated for anything properly. I don't think they really knew what was going on. So when I said that, we come home that day from that MRI scan, she told me she didn't have it. When she come home that day, she got into bed and she messed herself. And she was absolutely like, "Oh my God, Mum, please, you know." And I said, "Don't worry about it, we'll sort it out." She got into bed, she kept on vomiting and she couldn't even keep water down. Now, she sat there on the bed and one day she said to me, "Mum, I'm going to be sick." So I gave her the bowl. I was sitting next to her. Next minute, her eyes rolled back and she'd gone. My mum had come in. I was in the right state. I was on the phone to the ambulance people. She was saying, "Can you check her pulse?" My head was all over, but I didn't know which way to turn, and I was panicking. So anyhow, the ambulance came. They put the oxygen and everything on her and test her. They said her heart was racing that fast, like she had run a marathon. But she kept on telling them that she could not walk. Literally, she used to struggle walking from my bed to the bathroom, and it's like not even about 10 steps. And she kept on saying to him, I can't walk down the stairs. They took all the oxygen off her and they were so rude. They said to her, you need to start walking down the stairs now, or we're going to leave you here until you pass out again, and then we will put you on the stretcher. And the stretcher was outside. My hallway is like a little tiny thing. The stairs are literally at the bottom of my hallway. My stairs and then the hallway is like my front door, sorry. So it's very, very small. And my daughter, as she got to that bottom step, we all got chucked outside because it was really hot and all that. So I was outside, and I said to, as I looked, because the front door was open, the stretcher was there, and I said to the paramedic woman, I said, she's going to go again. No, she's not. No, she's not. I said, she is. Please. My other daughter was behind her to try and support her down the stairs, but when she got to that bottom, she fell, hit her head, and she was gone. Now, the other paramedic, he was trying to resuscitate her, but the woman had to say to him, you need to go further up because you're doing it too low. And I thought, what? And she came out and said to me, then she had to come out and get all the machines back in because she had put them all away because she thought my daughter was going to be able to get to the ambulance. But she obviously didn't because she died at the bottom of the stairs. They put her, they were trying to resuscitate her, like, with, like pumping on her chest and everything, but there was nothing there at all. So, like I said, all these people in orange suits come. She said, we're heart things and all this lot. I thought, what's going on, please? And they just rushed her off, and that was it. There was nothing they could do. They
That
put
sounds
so
like
much adrenaline
um,
into her that there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And they said, we're going to turn her off. Then when they put her in a room so you could see her, it made me feel sick because they had to get the police to come and see if she had any marks on her body from anything because she passed at home. But they were there. They were here. The ambulance were here with us. So it just made me feel really sick to think they could come and do that and strip her body to look at her to see if she had any markings. Then her nose started to bleed. So I was panicking. Oh my God, she's alive. She's alive. But it wasn't. It was where they give her the medication injection for the blood clot to come away. It had only just started. It was too late, basically, and that's what happened.
I'm sorry you
And
went
then
through that, man, but that sounds like medical negligence. You should
That's
definitely try to get a
I
second
I went
opinion.
to fight
For real.
for it, and they still said I could do it now, but
Yeah,
it's
you
just
can,
too
because
much stress.
PALS, you should contact PALS and
Okay.
You
then
should do, just for the simple fact of
get it.
other parents that are going through the same thing.
But it's just so stressful to keep going on about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah. It's
You know what it
just
is?
so
It is
hard.
stressful,
What
and
you
that's
make-
why I always say, yeah, like that you can make the complaint anytime. So that's why you gotta make sure that you're strong, like you can go into it being strong minded and stuff. So don't think, oh, do you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna call them and make the complaint. Just when you're
Yeah.
ready, because even though you might not want nothing from it, example like money or whatever, because nothing's gonna bring back like
No, that's
your
it,
daughter,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But at the same time, you making that complaint can maybe stop someone else from dealing with what you've dealt with. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
I
you
get
are
Yeah, I
gonna
was
make a
going to say that.
complaint
What you might
from someone
think
that has
is-
made a complaint, I would just advise, just make sure everything you do is done via paper trail. Like everything is done via emails, everything is recorded, just so that you've got your
Yeah.
evidence. And you can also, by the way, as well, request your daughter's they are all her medical records. You can actually request that as well. So just
Okay.
when you're ready, if you need any help, you can message me as well. I literally had to deal with it with my mum. That's why I'm just letting you know, like, just trying to
Yeah,
give you this
yeah.
advice. But yeah, honestly, I wish you well with that, man, and I'm so sorry that happened.
That's okay. But yeah, but I was quite shocked when I got that come to the door. Like, it was just like, and I just got it sitting on the side because I just don't know what to do with it, because obviously I can't throw it away. And then I was going to put
And
it
what
in
have
with
they
my
actually
mum.
brought you, if you don't mind me asking?
You what, sorry?
What did you say they brought you?
Heart and lung. Pieces of it, like.
Is that...
Can I just ask,
That's
was your daughter cremated or was she buried?
She was cremated. She's at home with me.
You
Are they
can
like little bits
ask the
like on a medical
council.
slide?
You can ask the council to cremate that at no extra cost, depending on, did you take your daughter to be scattered, or
No,
did
she's
you
at
have
home
her
with me.
delivered to you? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can, if you was to discuss this with the local council or funeral directors, you can take what you have in the urn to the funeral directors that actually dealt with the cremation and actually have the funeral, basically an extra cremation.
Sue, you can't do it at no cost. I'll say that for free.
You can for stuff that should have been dealt with at that point in time.
It depends. Like the lady said, her daughter was 19 and she doesn't know.
But if
what
she
her
didn't
daughter
know,
previously
the
said.
thing is, if she didn't know that they'd taken body parts from head, I'm trying to be as, how can I put it, as,
I knew they were taking body parts from her, but only small, like, bits of it, because
yeah,
obviously she didn't want to be cut right open, and, you know, because that's all she kept on saying to me. And that's what I couldn't get in my head. Why you keep saying this? Like, you know, why are you telling me you don't want to have open heart surgery? You just want to go, like, and
technically it would have been like a biopsy that you assume.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
they
I've
was
got
going to
about,
take.
you know, quite a lot of it. Like little bits of her heart, little bits of
Yeah.
her lung, about as big as a 10 pence piece, and they're in like a wax, like a plastic casing with wax over. And then I've got the slide where the dye had been put on it, and you can see the shape of what's in that wax. So, and that's what it is.
I can't comment on this, but all I can say is my condolences are with you. But anybody, if you need any help, I'm telling you now, Torian will help
Yeah,
you.
okay, thank you.
I'm so sorry
She
that
will help you.
I'm so sorry that's happened to you. I'm going to explain exactly why that's happened. My sister passed away. She unalived herself last year, and I was her next of kin. I was her only next of kin, and I had to deal with the coroner and everything. And you're given so much paperwork, and you have to fill it out. And because it was an unexplained death, and it was it wasn't expected. She passed away in a care home setting. The police were obviously called, and the coroner, and her body was obviously removed and taken to the mortuary. I had to sign paperwork to say that they would remove certain organs from my sister, and one of the organs was her heart, because the coroner thought that her heart was enlarged. So I had to sign forms on the paperwork. There were several different boxes that I had to go through, which I found extremely difficult. One was for it to be removed and kept for medical purposes, or it could be removed and certain parts of it returned to me, or it would be removed and used for teaching purposes, or it would just be removed and the hospital would just dispose of it after they'd done their certain tests on it. So I signed to say that I would have that heart given over for medical research, for it to be for other doctors or medical students to use it for medical research for when they're training. Now, obviously, my sister wasn't my daughter, so I wasn't clear-headed when I signed the forms by any means, because she was only 35. She's actually on my TikTok. You'll see I've put posts up about her. But obviously I would have been a lot more clear-headed than you would have been, because it was your daughter that passed away. So I didn't receive any parts of my sister back. She was cremated. This was only April last year. But when you went through the paperwork, because they would have done an autopsy on your daughter, because obviously it was an unexpected death.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. She didn't have an autopsy.
No, but they didn't know that she was going to die. So it was an unexpected death. It was unexpected. They didn't know she was going to die. It was unexpected.
Yeah, but you can still refuse. You can still refuse an autopsy.
No, you can't.
You can.
No, you can't. No,
You
can't. If somebody,
I didn't have an autopsy for her. She didn't want an autopsy. She didn't want to be cut out.
No.
But obviously what they took away, I don't know how they got it out. Like, I don't know how it worked. I wasn't, at that time, my head wasn't right. But I never signed any form for them to cut her open.
You don't sign forms for that.
You just said you have to sign
No, you sign paperwork. When they send you the first death certificate, which is like an interim certificate, to say that this person has passed away. You get a first interim death certificate. You'll get lots of paperwork that you have to sign, which describes what's happening and stuff. You can't refuse an autopsy. An autopsy is when someone has passed away. It's like if somebody has got a long progressive illness, say for instance C, or they've got another long progressive illness and they're in a hospice and they know that they're going to pass away, then no, an autopsy will not be requested because
Well,
they know
that's
that
what was wrong with her. They didn't know. They knew that she was going to pass because there was nothing they could do for her. They couldn't even give her the operation because her heart and that had gone that far that they couldn't. So they knew that she was going to pass, and my daughter knew she was going to pass, but none of us knew. But she obviously had spoke to them, so she didn't have. I didn't sign no paperwork for autopsy or anything.
But the thing was,
obviously they took some away, but they knew she was dying.
Yeah, they may have
with
known
an
that-
autopsy, so I don't know, there's no name there, but with an autopsy, by law, they have to,
Yes.
you don't sign an autopsy.
No.
It's only if it's an unexplained death.
Yeah,
If there's an explanation for her death, then they won't give her an autopsy. But by law, they have to.
Yeah.
If it's unexplained.
If somebody suddenly dies in the home, they will have to do an autopsy to determine the cause of the death.
Only if it's not only if it's unexplained.
If it's a sudden unexplained death, yeah. Sorry,
Why is there so many people talking over the people that Andrew's trying to talk?
go.
Angie, can you push me down? Thank you for having
Who's
me.
that speaking? Is that Dolly?
Yeah, please, thank you.
Oh, okay,
Sorry for
no problem.
interrupting.
Yeah, if there's if someone has the C, for example, they're not going to do an autopsy because that's what they've probably passed away from or whatever it may be. But if there's an explained, like my father, he had an autopsy because it was an unexplained. He did have C, but he didn't die of that. So, however, it was unexplained. So by law, they had to do it.
It's the same as my ex-husband's dad. He passed in 2016, June, but he had a history of heart issues, so there was no autopsy. Me and my ex-husband found him, but there was no autopsy.
Passport, you have a choice of an autopsy. No, you don't. Not if it's an unexplained death. So if someone is healthy, I know that passes away, they're going to have an autopsy whether you like it or not, because someone could have done something. Do you know what I mean? And they need to find out what the cause of it is, to do the pathology report and everything like that. But however, someone could bump you off, man. What the hell?
Yeah, because could you imagine if they didn't do an autopsy and then 5 years down the line, somebody says, oh, I think that they actually did something to that person and I now want to press charges. They would then have to go through the whole, the procedure of digging up the remains. It just couldn't happen. You have to have a cause of death. And if somebody has passed away at home suddenly, not in a hospice where they've had a long progressive death that is predicted that they are going to pass away and they are under the care of medical professionals, if someone has suddenly passed away at home, they will always do
we
an
knew
autopsy.
she knew she was going to pass, so she didn't have one.
Yeah, but they'd be, even though they may have known that she was going to pass, but she still passed suddenly at home. It's not as though it was predicted that on that particular day, at that particular time, that she was going to pass. It was still classed as a sudden death. So that's why they would have done an autopsy. And
Angie,
setting.
Angie, please can Torian talk? Too many people have talked over her and she wants to talk.
Yes, Torian.
Me, no, I'm over it. You lot carry on
Just
talking.
like every now and again. Who's in the box? Does anybody else want to have their say? I don't know who else is in. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a sad story, isn't it? That's really sad. That's terrible. Does anybody else?
It is when it's your kids, because you never expect your kids to go before you do.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like what they say though, isn't it? The heaviest coffins that you carry are the ones that are the smallest.
Yeah. You can refuse an autopsy only if a hospital requested. Can't refuse if a coroner requests. Well, same thing, isn't it? You can refuse the autopsy only if the hospital requested it. Yeah, the hospital requested it. If you got a loved one that's passed away, you're going to hospital, wouldn't you?
I think you can refuse the hospital one, but you can't refuse the coroner's one.
Yeah, she didn't have it in hospital.
I think.
No, it's the same thing. A hospital requested my dad's completely by law. You know, you got to do it by law. You know, Nanny wants to do the job. Sorry, Nanny. Yeah, I always say put it in my comments, guys, if you want the box. Hi, Nanny.
Hi, Angie. I've just been listening to the conversation. My mum passed about 7 years ago in the house. She was told she did have a nodule of cancer. Ongoing other underlying issues with old age. It was classed as a sudden death. Police were in the house. I got a phone call off the doctor. I'm her only child. I got a phone call off our GP, and the GP was asking me about, sorry, I can't remember, I get brain fog because of stroke, the autopsy. And I couldn't bear the think of them cutting my mum up, open kind of thing. So it was decided that the autopsy wouldn't be done. It's just, I suppose all cases are different. So it was a sudden death, police were in attendance, but they decided not to do the autopsy.
That's odd because, like, by law, you have to have an autopsy, especially if it's sudden.
Well,
that's law.
It wasn't done. But then I had, as I said, maybe they would have done it if I wasn't saying to GP, I'm
going to ask my delusive Dan. I love my delusive Dan, but I know that by law, you know, if it's an unexplained death, because what was his death put down to then?
Oh, I don't know. It could have been all day. I mean, she was 83 when she died. As I say, they did say she did a nodular cancer.
Delusive Dan, hello. I have to ask him. Let me end this.
Angie, Delusive Dan has had enough of you.
He's been recording the phone call. He's been recording everything. What the hell?
He's gonna dox you.
Delusive Dan's going to do awareness tomorrow.
Yeah, he's doing an awareness on your live, Angie.
That's it, Angie. He's done it with you, love. Anyway, Tori, how are you, darling?
I'm okay, guys. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Why is everyone going on about Sue? What's going on?
Let's not start that again, please.
To be honest with you, and
Torian,
and
about her repost.
I contacted Angie.
Yeah, have you looked at a repost?
Because Angie
wild.
has quite a big platform, and I asked Angie, or should I say I begged Angie, to see if, because my last account was actually taken down last year, my mum passed and I didn't have the time, the energy or the will to set up a new account straight away. I asked Angie, once my account was re-established, like now, to see if she would forward a request for me to, I'm trying to put forward that people, home carers, have a DBS check.
I'll sign it.
Wait, can I just say something about the home carer thing? Sorry, Ange. No. When it comes to carers, when, say, for instance, you've got a child or whatever, carers are normally someone that you know or is like a family member, right? So I'm not going to lie. I think when you are appointing someone to care for you, for whatever, it's not going to be someone that you don't know. So I think the DBS thing is going to be a bit of a reach, because at the end of the day, it's not random people that you're going to be getting to care for your child. Like, that doesn't make no sense. And I think for me, as I care for my son, I'm not going to, that's crap.
wants
The
it done,
DBS is
Victoria,
a
because she
must,
wants
whether
her
it be
brother had
family
a
or
criminal
not.
record and looked after her mum. That's why she wants it.
Torian,
Huh? Yeah.
when you asked about Sue's repost, have you looked?
Yeah, a little bit. But wait, one
What
sec, Sarah, hold
repost?
on.
I repost
Oh
lots
my
of things.
god. I'm
Usually by
I'm
request.
gonna be
And
wait.
What's your point?
Because
No, I'm
quite a lot of them, darling. No disrespect. I'm only commenting
What,
on
do you
what
get to
people in
view
the
my
comments say.
messages? Do you get to view
Sue,
my
calm
messages
down,
on
calm down,
repost?
No,
Sue,
Sue,
calm
calm down.
Didn't think
I'm
so.
commenting, right, so a lot of people in these boxes that
Fucking
wanted to
hell.
come up and they can't get up, they're saying, Sarah, can you ask Sue about a repost? A lot of your reposts are very racist.
Racist?
To be honest.
My niece
Yeah.
and nephew are Indians. My
Oh
best
no.
friend is
God bless.
Jamaican. Really? You want to go there? Claire,
Victoria asking
Claire
now.
Andrew's laughing.
Nawab. She is a Muslim. Please, let's not go there.
Please,
Wait,
look at your repost.
no, this sorry, I'm
Look
laughing
at
at
your
Angela.
repost
My
before you make that
God.
comment.
If your family are Muslim and you are reposting that is crazy.
Oh, what?
Exactly.
And you think because I have a problem with Sadiq Khan or
Oh God.
our PM, that makes me racist?
No, look at
Please
your
look up
repost.
the definition of
Oh
racist.
Okay.
Go and educate
Sue, can I ask a
yourself.
serious question?
I'm signing out, guys.
What, my brother-in-law's an
Sue-
Indian? Yeah, of course you can. You can ask me a question.
No, no, I'm being
How-
very serious.
Can
On a weekday, weeknight, have you had a drink?
There's one person
Me,
I don't
no, I'm on
understand, and I'm just gonna have a
naproxen.
look at it.
Can I please come back to this whole petition thing a moment?
Yes.
You want to start
Go on,
a
darling.
petition on family members that are looking after their own family members. Now,
150%.
you knew that your brother was a Section 1 offender.
Yes.
Yeah.
How would that have helped you when you let him care for your mum?
I
That
didn't.
DBS
Correct.
check.
How
Hold on, please let me
Said
finish.
that.
That DBS check wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference because you didn't go anywhere near your mum. And
Yes, I
all the
did.
things-
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You
You
obviously
stated
haven't
yourself that you
listened.
couldn't get in the house.
You,
And
I
that it was
couldn't
only
get in
your
the
sister
house. It
from
didn't stop my
Australia.
aunties. It didn't
Hey,
stop my
come on, guys.
aunties
She's
from
just
getting
lost
her
her
out
mad. She's
of
already
the house.
emotional.
And I'm just saying that a lot of families already know their family members' criminal records.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I care
So,
for my son,
It
so
didn't
Yeah, it
stop.
wouldn't
It
make a blind
didn't.
bit of difference.
You see, you're not listening, are you?
I am listening.
We had the social services there. We had the police doing welfare checks.
So if you knew your brother was a Section
How
was
can
a
we-
Section 1
How
offender,
can
we get
we?
the Hamleys
then
in,
why
guys?
How
don't you?
can we
Happy
override the
for Angie's
police?
12 o'clock, guys.
How can we override the police?
everyone's gone mad.
Go on.
I completely
I'd
agree
love
with
your
you, say my
infinite
man.
wisdom
Guys, you're
on
all
how we
talking
can
over each other.
override
Oh my
the social
Guys,
services
one
from
at
the
a time.
police.
Why so
Right,
much?
right, one at a time. I'm trying to kick some people out. We need one at a time, please. Who's talking?
Go for it. Go for it. How can we override the police and how can we override the social services department? Go for it.
Or even not. Before you get me
Dude,
out,
can I say-
I'm going to get
Dude,
me out.
Sue, if you okay, look, yeah, if your mother, sorry, R.I.P. to her, if she was going through whatever, yeah, and you reported it to the police or to the adult social care, the adult social care, they have a duty to investigate your reports.
And they
So-
did.
Wait, please, I beg of you, because I don't want to shout. Just listen to what I'm
just
saying
let
to you, yeah?
them finish.
They would have had a duty of care to investigate those reports. So what came back from those reports when you reported about your brother?
The reports came back that when they stood there and they asked Mom if she was in any danger, which is what they asked for.
Yeah, but your
She
mum, you
turned
said that your
round
mum
and
is
she
not
said-
capable, though, to answer
Yeah,
for
she was
herself.
in the
So why would they
January.
ask the mum?
In the January, she could speak. By the end of February,
Oh,
she
okay.
couldn't. Do you want me to go fucking further
No,
into it?
no,
And
look,
how
I'm not
she
trying
was
to- I'm
mentioned
just
in
trying to
the
understand.
first week in March.
Do you know what? Let me. All right. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't
Let me
think
stop.
so. Do you know what metastatic brain cancer is? Do you know
Sue,
how
Torian's trying to talk nicely to you.
Yeah, just one at a
Sue, I'm
time,
not
guys.
trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to ask you a question.
well,
I'm
shall we
not
go
saying.
through it on a week by
I'm just
week?
asking. I'm trying to understand
I mean, that's
why.
Let's go
the
through it
thing.
on a week by week.
Because you don't let
First week
nobody
in
talk and you're
January.
constantly talking over people. You don't let people land,
One
and so
sec, the only thing I
No,
only
because
thing
they're
like I
just
do.
assuming what a response is. First week in January.
Wait a minute, one sec. The only thing I like I said I don't understand is like there would be. Are you talking about the evidence? What are you talking? Are you talking about the
no.
evidence?
So I'm saying, Angie, if she reported her mum, like about her brother being sexual and him having care
Yeah.
for the mum, they would have had a duty of care to investigate it, the
Right, yeah.
adult
So
social
this
working
was already
team.
asked, right? Yeah, this was already asked. She said that her sister went there and there was abuse. I asked if there was any recordings, and there was
Well,
recordings.
this is what I'm saying, Angie. So her sister
So it
flew
doesn't make sense to me.
16,000 miles to go and see her. So why didn't Sue
Yeah,
travel
so
from Kent or wherever she were to her mum?
So to me, it's like it's a kind of thing like, well, you know, it's hearsay, isn't it? You know, was the actual
Yeah.
abuse going on? I don't know. Was he? Did he have a past? Yes, but did he abuse his mum? Well, it's possibly hearsay because at the end of the
All
day,
I
if he's
can say is if my brother, God strike me down dead, if my brother had been done for Section 1 against any of my children, there's no way against God's
Angie was
green earth. And I'm
talking.
sorry, Angie, you'd be the same as me. I would walk glass, earth, snow, fire, anything to make sure I had my mum under my care.
Torian, someone said to check Discord and stop talking.
Yeah,
Angie
yeah, I
was
will.
talking.
I'll check the Discord. And what I was saying is, you can't understand as well. Yeah, when someone's at end of life care or anything of that sort, they have a lot of people under their care. So they'll have their consultant, they'll have their GP, their nurse, whatever it is. So you're telling me that report, no, but that's medical negligence. Like if that's the case, that's wild. Because if you're saying your brother is under Section 1, he was abusing substances, and they let your mum, who was not capable from a certain month, to still stay there. That don't make sense.
I just feel that it's more
Not saying
like
you're lying,
financial-
but I'm just saying it.
Yeah, there's probably more financial abuse where maybe he was taking money out here and there. Do you know what I mean? And the next of kin was the husband, and it's a bit of a not grey area, but he was the next of kin, the husband. The money the brother got the money, but like I said,
But
if
again,
there's no
Angie, it don't make
abuse-
sense, because if he's next
but-
of kin,
no, yeah, but I know that. But what I'm saying is, if there's no abuse or anything like that, to me, it's you haven't really got a case because you know he was the mother's carer, and I just feel when you have families that live like at a distance, right, and you get it all the time, and they don't really visit their mum, their dad so often, but you got that one family member like that is caring for that person, putting in that time and effort. Why should the other family members get the money when they didn't even care for the person? Do you know what I mean? Whether there was, if there was abuse there, I get it. And if there was financial abuse, he was taking money out, then I get that too. But however, he did look after his mum, and probably it sounds like he was the only one that did.
but yeah,
What's
this
money
just sounds
got to
like
do
a
with
money
that?
thing. I think
What's it got to do with money?
we're just giving our opinion.
Don't care of somebody. What has money got to do with it? Nobody even knew that mum had that money in her account, apart from my brother. And dad didn't even know until he got that final bank statement through. But what the fuck has that got to do with anything?
Can I tell you what it's got to do with it? Because 2.3k people now know.
I don't give a shit how many people know, so long as they know that people that are home carers should be DBS checked.
Can I
If
ask you
they've
a
got a
question,
Section 1
Sue?
offence against them, they should not be at home
Yeah.
caring for somebody, regardless
Can I
of
ask
their
you
age.
Can I ask you a question, Sue? Right, you didn't have a lot of choices, right? Because it was either the brother look after your mother, or she goes into a home or hospice, right? So that was it. There was only two choices, right? Now I don't know if there was any abuse going on or anything there, but can I ask you a question? Did you speak to your brother as to why he took the money? Have you not had any contact with him?
He has had, how can I put it? He has had contact with me through abusive messages And that is as much as I can say. He sent me a picture of, do you know when you get when you buy a new mobile phone
Yeah.
and you get the box that your phone's delivered in? He sent a picture message of that box that you get the phone in, absolutely stashed with money. Now, this wasn't before Mum passed, this was after Mum had passed. Yeah, and it was like, I've got 4 of these boxes, they add up to 48k, and it was like, I'm not interested. And I've got the message to prove that. It was like, go for it. Do you know what I mean? If that's all that Mum wants to you,
48k.
48k. I turn around and I says, if that's all Mum meant to you, eat your
Has
out.
it gone from 20k to 48?
This was,
But I just don't understand why you take a picture of
she
the money
had
and show it.
20k in the bank, but he sent me the message, and I've got proof. I can add it to here if need be, but the police have got it. And it's like, as I said,
Well,
if that's all Mum
so
wants
if it's
to
a police
you,
case, it shouldn't be on TikTok.
like as I
The
said, if
person that
that's all
messaged me,
that-
message me again, please, just now.
How
like
has it
as I
gone
said,
from 20k
I
to
said, if
48k?
that's all that Mum was to you, because I didn't believe it at this point, then you go ahead. Do you know what I mean? But my initial thing is, which is, as me and my daughter set up last year before my account was taken down, was DBS checks should be set up for people regardless of who is caring for them. Whether it be kids, whether it be adults, DBS checks should be a
So you do realise that the only things that show up on DBS checks are things that people have been convicted of?
And he has been convicted of Section 1.
What purpose was the DBS check?
And you got
gonna be
7 years
for
in
you?
jail.
You already knew it.
If that Section 1 had come up on a DBS check for my mum, he wouldn't have been allowed to care
Right,
for her.
so did your brother go to jail for Section 1?
Yes, he did.
But
For how long?
another
7 years?
question. Back to my other question. How did it go from
Steve, I'm not being
20k
funny,
to
but the story's
48k?
changing.
Wait a minute. Whoa. One second. Everyone mute for some. That doesn't make. You said he walked. You said he walked away for Section 1.
No,
you
I
said
never said he
James,
walked
you
away
had
from a Section 1. I said he was convicted of a Section 1. He wasn't in
Yeah, that's
prison,
it.
but that Section 1
Yeah,
stays
you're right. You
with
did
him.
say that. Yeah, I apologise. You did say that. Yeah.
Right. So how did we go from 20k to 48k? That's my next question.
The amount in Mum's bank account was 20k. Yeah, just over 20k. He removed from January to March, which was before and after she passed. Mum passed on the 13th. We got the final bank statement through, or should I say, Dad did, on the 26th or the 28th of March. Yeah, the
So
message.
that was, hang on.
The
Hang on,
message.
so that was before you found out where your mum's body was.
Yes. Yes. Because we got
You
told by the
statement
medical
through before you
examiner,
found out where your mum's body was.
we didn't know where Mum's body was. We was told by the registrar to go register her, so that gave Dad the power as next of kin to be able to hold Mum's
So where did the
funeral.
28k come from?
Thank you, sorry.
The what? The 28? No, it was
Yeah,
48.
where did that come? Where did the
You said
48k come in play?
That was
Can I
just.
just say, sorry, can I just quickly say something? Yeah, listen, I just feel that, I think, you probably miss things out, because, it's something you need to write down that's quite lengthy, innit? But the only thing that I'm questioning really is whether there was any abuse, and that's it really. The money then, if there was no abuse, in my opinion, even though he done what he's done to your son, which is disgusting, however, he did look after your mum. And if that's the
didn't.
case...
He didn't.
Well, what I'm saying was a carer. Yeah,
He
for your mum,
didn't.
right?
He received carer's allowance. It doesn't mean that he was caring for her and
Well, if he received
anybody.
carer's allowance,
Myra
he's registered
Hindley.
as a
I
carer.
could employ
One
Myra Hindley.
sec.
Can we stop talking about Myra Hindley? It's sick.
Please, can you do 1 sec?
Yeah, so is my brother.
If you're getting carer's allowance,
So
in
why
my
weren't
opinion,
you there?
correct me if I'm...
1 minute, Angie.
One
So
sec,
why
can I
wasn't
just
you
say-
there? Sue, why wasn't you there?
You are
lived
sick in the
in-
fucking head.
Guys,
if you
please stop
think for
talking
1
over
minute
me.
that we didn't
Please just let
try,
Auntie talk.
Now, everyone mute, because stop talking out, because I'm going to kick people out. It's really annoying. It's very rude. I've been patiently and I listen to what people say in the boxes, so please hear me out. Now, which I've totally forgotten because I get this really bad brain fog. So carry on because I've totally forgotten. Got mods, you have every power in it. Everyone talks over me, especially
Andrew, I'm
me.
going now. But thanks everybody for the gifts. Thank you.
And I'm so sorry for what's happened.
No, that's fine. Thank
I'm
you.
going to drop
I've
as
got
well.
brain
But
fog, I forgot.
I'm going to drop
Bye.
as well. But thank you for letting me in. Thank you,
Thank
Ange.
you. Who's speaking? Oh, thank you. Yeah, so carry on, Sue. I need to go to the loo.
Phil, I don't understand how he sent you a message because you said that you didn't speak to him, but then he sent a message with the money.
Sorry? No, we wasn't speaking. What it was my sister had come through from Australia. Yeah? And she was there during that week or week to 2 weeks that before Mama passed. When Mama passed, she was there for a couple of days before she had to go home. Obviously, she's got family and a partner, and she had to go home. Yeah.
But you said earlier, Sue, that your sister flew these 16,000 miles and he wouldn't let her in the door.
He wouldn't. But by the
How
time
did she get in to see all this was going on?
Oh, by the time, because she had to arrange it for when Mum's two sisters was arranging to go there. It wasn't just a case of Mum and her children. She had two sisters as well. But because they was working and one of them was going through an adoption case and one thing and another, she could only make it when the social services were present. So what my sister had to do was arrange it so that one of my aunties was there as well. Now, my aunties arranged for myself and my dad to visit Mum, but when my brother wasn't there. So it was kind of like a case of, oh, we're going to take your mum to Tesco's and take her for a walk around Tesco's, blah, blah, blah. So we'll give you a couple of hours break. So he'd bugger off out to go see his daughter or his friends and what have you, pardon me, so that me or my dad could turn up for half an hour in between the time that he said that he was going. So we managed to get there. But it was things like stupid things where
like to see his kids because of what happened with your
So you weren't all isolated then? You were allowed to go and
Yes, we was. Because it was times like my sister would turn up with my auntie.
Famous Five story.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
We're hearing what you're saying, Sue, because there's that many different versions of this story. I've got lost at.
Oh, so you want me to give you 12 weeks? You want me to give you 12 weeks?
You've given us 12 weeks. You've given us 12
Sue,
weeks.
can you explain
You're
something
tripping
to me,
yourself
please?
up all the time, and it's getting exhausting.
How is it fucking tripping myself up? You asked
Because
a
your
question,
sister flew
I answer
16,000
it.
miles and couldn't get in. You was not told for 12 weeks that she'd passed, but you knew 3 days
12
later.
weeks.
You know,
I knew within fucking 10 minutes that my mum had passed.
Well,
it
you
was a
said earlier
12
you
week
didn't know for 12 weeks.
Wait, can I ask something serious? Sorry, I've got special needs. It might make me sound stupid, but your brother said that there was nobody in the family, just him. But did your mum not put people down on like when they died?
To my mum. It wasn't down to my mum. When my brother filled in the CREM 1 form, Google it, a CREM 1 form, you are legally expected to put every member, siblings and children and what have you, you are legally expected to put them people down on a cremation form. It's called a CREM 1 form. And what he had done is when he moved Mum to the funeral home, what he'd done was he'd put himself down as
someone called
only
Lol Watterson
living
wants to come up.
relative. Yeah? What he'd done was he'd fraudulently completed that form in the eyes of the law by saying he's the only living relative, when in actual fact Mum had a husband and 4 children, not just him. So when I'm ringing up, they're going, can you tell me, are you a biological child? And I'm like, yes.
So that
And
would
they're
be a
like,
criminal
well,
offence then, Sue, yeah?
sorry?
that would be a criminal offence then. Did he get arrested for that?
Right, can I
No, we
finish off what I
tried.
was saying?
We tried.
Yeah, Mama Bear, go.
There's been an
But
awful lot of trying with police and adult social care, and nobody seems to have wanted to do anything.
Oh, well, do you know what, dipshit? I hope you never have to go through this.
You don't know what
Because I
I've been
can
through, Sue.
assure you, I have got telephone numbers, I've got names, I
I'll
have
tell you
got...
what, Sue. I tell you
Get
what,
in
Sue,
touch
you're
with,
losing-
get in
you're
touch
losing-
with
you-
Graham and Rosen solicitors,
Using
and you
insults-
ask them. Pretend
using
you're
in-
me, and
using
ask them
insults-
what I went
using
through last
insults.
year.
I couldn't
Before-
care a shit, but
Didn't
using
think
insults,
so.
loosens
Graham and
your
Right,
rights.
let me hear-
solicitors,
Right,
go
can we hear
ahead.
Mama Bear? Go ahead, Mama Bear.
Before, right, I might sound stupid, but before you even, like, she obviously knew she was ill, didn't she? Did she not put, like, people down to, like, take her over for the people to phone her to see if they were still alive, if you know what I mean? Because you're saying that your brother said that he was the only one in the family left.
He did say that he was the only one left. Mom, listen, by, say, November, which is when she moved, when he got her to move into a bungalow, yeah? She had a 2-bedroomed house in Yorkshire before that, right? He got her, because it was a housing, because it was a housing association, when Mum passed, he would have been out on the street. Because it wasn't classed as a legacy tenancy. Does that make sense? Now, when he got her to put down for a bungalow, that would have been with the local council, which would have meant that he would have, or could have, if Mum put him on the tenancy, held something called a legacy tenancy. Now, she got offered one place and apparently he said that it wasn't big enough. So she got offered another one in the November. She took it because she knew that her mind was failing and wanting another.
So I'm stuck on something. You said your brother has been done for a Section 1, yeah? Correct?
Yes.
But then you said when you went round to see your mum, he'd buggered off out to go see his daughter.
Yes. Because he didn't
So
know
how
I was
would
going.
someone-
So how did you not get in the house?
How did
Because
no,
my
no, no,
two
no. I'm asking
aunties
how
was there.
someone. Hold on. I'm asking how someone with Section 1, if it's Smexual, has gained access to your
Did I
it's
say
not
it was?
sexual.
Did I
It's
say
not
it was
sexual.
sexual?
What
You know
happened
that a
then?
sexual
Well, you're shouting
one
Section
isn't just
1.
sexual, don't you?
Yeah, what she's
Well,
saying
what
is
Section 1 was it? What Section 1 was
what
it
she's
then?
saying is Section 1. I thought she was saying
Yeah, but
sexual at first, but
Yeah,
section
Section
is
1
assault.
could be
But she
traffic
did
offence
say-
and it could
but
be
what-
anything.
No, she said it was actual assault.
But what she did say
Well,
was,
so it's Sexual then, isn't it?
If you remember,
his own
he was
children.
stopped from seeing his own
What's the
children.
Section 1, Sue?
To be fair, she did say that about a brother with the cans chucked it at him.
Yeah,
This
it
is what I'm
was
trying to work out. She's trying to say
I
that her
think it was
brother needed a
was it actual
DBS.
bodily harm?
What section was it?
She said it was Section
Assault on a
1,
minor.
assault on a minor, and that he was not allowed to see her son or his own children again.
He'd have been a MAPA
He
offender.
went out to see his daughter, so that don't make sense. None of this makes
He'd
sense.
have been a MAPA offender, Sue, a Schedule 1 offender.
Exactly.
He'd have been a MAPA
Yeah.
offender. He'd
You
have
see
been
what I
under
mean? You
the
just assume,
authority
don't you?
of the
It's not
probation
see what I mean, it's
service.
your story
You just
changes.
assume. You just
Yeah,
assume.
your story's
But he
changing.
would never be allowed near
How
his
is
daughter
it?
ever again.
How is my story changing when you never asked me
What
when he got that
section?
Section 1 offence? How old my children was when he got the Section 1? How old
You
his
said
children
his
are when he got
children.
his
You've got a
Section 1?
Schedule 1
How old
offenders
his
for
children
life.
was when my mum passed?
You've got a Schedule 1 offenders licence for life. You're on it for life.
Exactly.
You've got a MAPA
Section 1
offenders
he
licence.
was Section 1 convicted
Dude,
in
he said his son was
2004. My mum passed last year.
And he'll
So
have that
take
for
your
life.
small mind.
So where
Yeah.
did
It's not small
1993
mind,
come
it's
from,
your
Sue?
small mind, love.
No, it's the
Of course it
law.
is. How is it my small mind when you didn't fucking ask?
Dude, you
Well,
said
you're
earlier,
saying
know what I
you're
think
shouting
happened
Section
here?
1.
Was
You're
your son
shouting
11 when
Section
that
one
happened?
1. Do you know
You know
how
what
many
I think's
Section
going
1s
on
there
here?
is in the
Because
law?
No, you know what I think's going on here, Minx? I think it's such a lengthy case. I'm going to say case. You know that sometimes you don't. Sometimes you forget about saying this, or you get a little bit You know when people sometimes analyse too much, like being at the police and you're here for hours and hours and hours. And
Everybody's
you forgot to
talking
say
as if this
you've
is
got to
something
write
that
it
happened
down.
yesterday,
You know what I mean?
Ange.
That could be the case here. Do you know what I mean?
Ange, I think you're being really polite there. You know,
No,
she's
no, what
just
I mean, what
honestly,
sounds like that is like,
really
because,
polite, Ange.
like, we're saying we can't see his daughter, but his daughter could be an adult now. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is she hasn't added things on, but it's like me. I can tell a story about my case, you know, that we had, right? And it's quite lengthy, and I probably would forget to add to say this or say that, or
I don't
you know,
think
and then
you
you've got to be
change things
precise.
as drastically as she has, Ange, like the 20k to 48k. The son was 11 when
20k is what went out of the account, you small-minded fuck, and 48
You know
is
what?
what he told me is drained.
Right, Sue,
She's
come
really
on, love. You
rude.
don't need to talk to people like that.
There's no need
Well,
for
then
it.
don't talk to me as though I don't know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't
when
Well,
I'm
I'm
the one
talking
that's
to you as if
answering
you're.
your questions.
Do you know
was
what? I'm
talking to
talking to
Angie.
you as you're an Islamophobe because that's what your reposts are giving.
Well, really?
love.
I'm a proud Islamophobe
Yeah, really.
then.
Yeah, really. You are an Islamophobe. Your whole
Really?
repost is
Go
full of
tell my
hatred
niece
towards
and nephew
Muslims.
that then.
Absolutely.
Go tell my niece and nephew.
Have a look
Go
at
tell
her
my
repost.
brother-in-law.
Islamophobic.
Oh, is
It's
that all you've got
screaming
on
it.
me? Because you're
No, it ain't.
because you're
It's what
so
you
worried
repost.
that you're not the most intelligent in the room.
I'm going to be
Dumbass.
Well,
actually
just
really
because you
honest
talk a
now.
lot and
I
shout don't
haven't
mean
seen
you are,
his
love.
reposts. I
I'm
just saw one repost.
I'm going
No,
to be
there's loads
actually
of them,
really
Ange.
honest
There's
now
loads
with what
of
I
them.
say, and if I get kicked from the box, I'm not bothered. But
There's
my
loads of
opinion
them.
is, after listening to all this, I think Sue is grieving quite harshly, and I do think she's very bitter because her brother has taken all that money and she hasn't got any of it. And I think that's
Nothing
what all
to
this
do with
boils down
money.
to. It's
Absolutely
everything
nothing to do with
because that's
money.
the majority
It's the
of what
way
you've
that she
mentioned.
died. Do
Angie.
you want to know how my sister found her? Hanging off the side of a fucking bed.
I don't need to know
Hanging
that.
off the side of...
We can't have that, guys.
Angie,
She's just rude,
attorney
Ange.
said give her full powers and she'll help you.
I'm sorry, Angie, but I'm just listening to the way the story's gone and how many things have changed. I did say it earlier in the chat that I do think she is grieving hard, and I do feel for the lady, but I do also think she's very bitter with regards to the money, and I think that's what the biggest problem is.
Yeah, but you know what it is? You know what it is? I feel that sometimes when you have so many people going at you, you get a little bit anxious and you kind
I
of
totally
you
get
say
that,
the
but
wrong
you would make little discrepancies,
No, but you
Ange.
say the wrong thing, you kind of get a little bit, tongue-tied. You say the wrong things, you forgot to add something, and your story's because it's quite a lengthy case, isn't it, really? Do you know what I mean?
But
And
you wouldn't go from saying that my sister flew 16,000 miles to have the door slammed in her face to them saying, well, she was in the house and she was seeing all this going on, and then the money went.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say. Something like that, she could have been talking about a different day, or do you know what I mean?
Right, Angie,
I kind of.
do you remember her saying nobody
I'm not
knew?
saying that I'm not saying I don't know whether she's telling the truth or not, but what I mean is I can understand it to a certain extent where if you've got so many people asking questions, it's like being at a police station. You get a little bit tongue-tied, you get a bit like...
One thing that I do like about you, Ange, you do try and see the good in people. I like that about you.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying you get a little bit tongue-tied and you kind of forget what you're saying. You say the wrong thing, and next minute you're guilty of a crime. And you get what I'm saying. When you honestly, it's like being hounded. Honestly, I'm going to use the word hounded.
Can I just say something to Angie? And
Like,
can you give the
TikTok,
power to
yeah.
eternity, please?
Power
Sorry,
of
eternity.
eternity.
Give
Give
the
us
power
power
to
of
asked her.
eternity, Ange.
the power of
Yeah,
eternity.
like it's like you're being hounded, on TikTok. It's like being hounded at a police station where you are saying the wrong things, and she, like you said, she's talking about her sister. Her story keeps changing, but yet she might have been talking about a different day when her sister turned up, or do you know what I mean? Where she hasn't actually said that because she hasn't said it. We're analysing every single word. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, I understand that, but Angie, do you not remember when she said when her mum passed away? Nobody was there, and then she said within 10 minutes she found out, but then she just said a sister who lives 16,000 miles away found her hanging over at bed.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd kick
Angie, Ali wanted in.
Huh?
Yeah, drop down, Ange. Thanks for letting me up.
Ali wanted in.
Yeah, guys, please don't tell me who's in the boxes because it's I just find it really annoying.
Sorry, Angie. Sorry.
No hate on you, Mama Bear, but
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
understand. Sorry.
Yeah, she's
Could I
she's not
just
in the
say,
box.
Ange, that I'm suing the Northwest Ambulance Service and the NHS over the negligent loss of my daughter for the lady who was in earlier on. You've got 3 years in which to make a claim. You don't have any longer than that. It's only 3 years. And she's
Yes.
entitled to ask for a ZARS, which is a subject access report from the hospital or wherever the daughter had. I know she said she lost her home, but she can apply to wherever she went to hospital. I never had an inquest because the coroner refuses to give me one. My girl was admitted on the 17th of June 21 and was deceased 10 hours later. They treated her for being drunk, but she'd had a posterior circulation stroke that mimics someone who's been drunk, and she was just dumped. She was 42 and left a 12-year-old girl that I'm rearing now. However, the hospital, because they knew they'd made a massive error with my girl, they never identified her death to the coroner till the 18th of June at 6 p.m. so that the coroner wouldn't be involved in my girl's untimely death. And I've tried to get him to do an inquest for me and he refuses. But I've now gone to the Attorney General over his head, and now we're just waiting to see what the decision is. But I've also got a boy now who's got an inoperable brain tumour, and he's 44 with 2 kids. They give him 12 to 18 months to live. Been treating my lad for 18 months with epilepsy. The NHS is fantastic, but when it goes wrong, it's catastrophic. Trust me.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So I just wanted to let
absolutely.
that lady know if she wants any help, because I'm 4.5 years in now with my daughter. If she wants any help at all or anyone, I'm more than happy to help anyone. And thank you for letting me come up and Torian.
Yeah, I'm so
Cheers for
sorry to hear
taking me
that.
message.
No worries, girl.
Okay.
Anytime.
Sorry to hear that,
Thank you
love.
very much indeed.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just think with Sue, it's a hard one because we're not a courtroom. Do you know what I mean? We're not judge and jury. We don't really know the ins and outs of it. We only hear but what she's saying to us. And but however, I do know unless you write it down, you forget things. Sometimes you're talking about something what someone like as the sister. She might have been talking about a different occasion, or like the money. She said it was 20K, but then you're saying it was 40, but no, she did say it was. No, that's what he's saying. So do you get what I'm saying? We can just analyze every word that everything that somebody comes out with. And it's like being being interrogated by the police, and next minute you get all flustered and you say the wrong thing and you get tongue tied and you miss things out. So, like I said, I whether it's true or not, I don't know. But she has lost her mum, and yeah. So I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? When you've been in, because there's like an interrogation room sometimes, isn't it?
I understand that, Ange. I do understand what you're saying, but I also think with something so serious and something so close to your heart, you do remember every detail. I think personally, with something like that, I can recite.
When I've spoken about my case, I get interrogated, on TikTok about whatever, if I'm talking about a story. Oh, it doesn't make sense. First you said this, now you're saying that, but it's just sometimes it just comes out my mouth wrong, or I haven't added this bit on, or I'm getting flustered, and I'm not like, do you know what I mean?
I do get that, but I deal with death a lot.
You've got to like write it down, isn't it? So
Yeah, but I deal with death a lot, Ange, in my job, and they're not even people that are close to me, but I could recite to you every minute of the time I've spent with a person that I don't know, because that situation, dealing with, a passing, is something that affects you, and I think it's one of those situations that would just stick with you. Well, it does for me anyway, personally. Everybody's different, I get that. But, I could recite to you everything that has happened in a call I've gone to where somebody has passed. Somebody from 3 years ago.
But, can I just say, for anyone that thinks that she was bullied in any way, I did ask her a couple of times. Yeah, as well as in the boxes. Do you feel bullied? Do you feel, are you okay with the questions? You know, and this is what, like Sunshine, she keeps spamming the comments and, oh, at least you got the views, Angie, ha ha ha, about the views. Listen, I didn't know this was going to happen. She jumped into my box when I was watching Lakeisha. Okay, I didn't know what it was about. And then that's what happened. She jumped into the box. And people asked her questions. I asked if she was. I asked her many times if she's okay. She seemed quite happy to talk on it, you know, and she didn't want to drop. And I asked the boxers, do they, you know, they could drop. They could also drop. And but the thing is, this is where you're wrong, Sunshine, for what you keep spamming hate in my comments. And let me tell you why. I asked the woman herself, do you feel bullied? You can just. I'm
You
fine.
asked many times,
I don't. Yes, I asked her.
She kept saying that she was fine and she didn't want to go.
People, you know, she wanted to talk on it. People asked her questions. It's TikTok. People need to stop making decisions for other people.
I do
You know,
think
you're
if
saying
people don't want to be questioned about things, then don't bring it to the app. Don't go in a box and
Yeah.
talk about it.
I mean,
Because you are
but
opening
sometimes
yourself
they're saying
up
it's disgusting for her to jump out and it's disgusting and all this kind of shit. You know, ask the person herself. She said it wasn't. She was happy. I kicked her out because of what she said, because it was what she said before I kicked her out. You know, she can even get back in if she wants, but however, she would have maybe got a ban for that.
Smiles has just said that she was horrible to Ara now.
I don't think she was being bullied at all. It was people asking questions about things that she'd said.
Yeah.
You know,
She needs to realise that if I kicked her out, it's not because I'm being horrible. It's because she said a word that's going to trigger the AI on TikTok.
boxes as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you are here, Sue, it's not. I didn't kick you out to be nasty. You're very welcome to jump back in if you want. You don't have to, but it's just because you would have got banned because of some words you say. You've got to be careful with what you say.
To be fair, it was hard work to get a word in edgeways with her. She was very chatty.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I hope she takes it further, and well, you know, with her brother. Hiya.
Hi, Angie, and the rest of yous in the box. I tried to get up earlier when the lady was on about DBS checks or something with kids, right? Now, that doesn't happen. And they didn't get carers money either. What happens is, like, I took a stroke when I was 42, I think it was, and my laddie was 12-year-old, and he was classed as my carer, but he didn't get carer's allowance, if you know what I mean.
No, I found out you have to be 16.
Aye, I got but there is benefits for underage kids that are having to care for their parents, like they get days out, they get taken away for a couple of days or things like that. But that lassie was adamant that they should be DBS checked. Now, DBS checking my 12-year-old boy, I'd have went mental.
What do you think about that? Talking about, young children that are carers. What do you think about that?
I'll tell you one thing. My boy was 12-year-old when I took the stroke. And I've also got an older lassie at 14, which we had problems with because we lost their dad when they were 6 and 12. So the 12-year-old lassie rebelled against me. So she was in and out, just volunteered to go into care. Thought the green was grasser because her pals were there. She soon returned anyway. So it left me and my 12-year-old. And I'll tell you what, for 12-year-old, my boy has had to learn to cook, clean, daisy and washing, everything, because I had
to take their childhood away, though. That's the question. Now, I just think my opinion on it is that if a child is looking after their mum, right, it does take some of their childhood away. They should be out playing with their friends, those kind of things. However, if there's no one else to look after, the elderly person, then obviously, you know, you've got one, and you've only got that one choice as to in care home. Then obviously you've only got that one choice. And
No.
if that was me, if I was little, I'd be devastated to be removed from my parents.
Yeah.
And I definitely would be a carer if I was.
My boy
you know,
learned to do all that ironing and everything. Even my neighbours, like when he was 16, 17, when I moved home, obviously because the home wasn't suitable for me, they were like, can't believe your laddie's out there hanging washing out my laddie when they do that and blah, blah, blah. And that's the things, but my laddie still went to football 3 nights a week and plus played football on a Saturday because other carers came in and helped that out. That's what I'm saying, the younger carers do have help. And they get to go places.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
It's very difficult. I mean, I was only 40 odds when I took a stroke, so there was nothing I could do. But I had like stroke doctors in every other day. I had nurses, I had physios. I had a load of help, and so did my laddie get a lot of help as well.
Yeah.
Like he's still done his football 3 times a week. Unfortunately, I just couldn't drive on there because I obviously had to stop driving.
Someone child should be able to be a child 24/7. Although I do agree with that, sometimes you don't have a choice, and sometimes the choice is to remove the child from the home. May be what is the alternative? Do you know what I mean?
And my boy wouldn't have left me.
Say that. What else would you know? Not remove the child. That's stupid. I don't know what I mean. What would be the alternative?
Exactly.
Actually?
No, my boy wouldn't have left me. He's 26 and I can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
I'm still got here at 26. And he still goes to football 3 times a week. So nothing's changed in his life apart from he's had to learn a lot younger for today home things. As in like the washing, the cooking, the things that mothers usually do for their kids, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, but I think it's better to be taught earlier than late, because when he eventually gets his own family, he'll know what to do when he moves out.
Oh, I can't get rid of him.
I agree. In one sense, I agree with what Andrew said of a little lad used to be a carer.
Sorry.
My nephew was my sister's carer. Because like I say, I'm only 26 months rug clean. But I'm going back he's 30 now. So it must have been about 14, 15. I wasn't around at that time, and my sister needed a carer. I lived in Manchester, she lived in Preston, and he was his mum's carer. But I tell you something now, it's made him such a strong, independent man. Not a boy, it's made him such a strong, independent man. He's only got one little baby, but I tell you something now, I think being his mum's carer has made him that way. Whereas thinking on the other hand, if I think, I would never have my kids be my carers, do you know what I mean? It'd be a different wavelength, but it has made him such a strong, independent man.
Mine too.
Can I just ask a question to the people that are saying that kids should be kids? Does that mean that you don't give them any responsibilities whatsoever? Does that mean that you don't say, hey, it's your turn to wash the pots tonight? Hey, put your washing in the wash basket? Maybe it's that thing of all you're teaching your kids, as well as helping the parent, is extra responsibility. That's all.
This was over.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. Does that mean that the child gets to live in a house and then not say, hey, tidy your bedroom?
I don't think people are saying that, Dolly. I think it's just, as a carer, sometimes kids do miss out on going to the cinema with their friends.
But like Angie said, there's some used to still go football training and everything.
Sorry, they actually don't because, like, social work do get involved, obviously, and they get taken for days out to, like, just say for instance the zoo or the park, or a couple of days away doing hunting or whatever in the fields, kind of like proper boy stuff. So the help is there for the kids as well as the adults. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, my laddie's no lost his childhood because he had to stay. I mean, he doesn't need to stay with me now. He's 26. He can bugger off, but he'll know. He's settled in my house and that's it. I'll not get rid of him, do you know what I mean? Whereas my daughter's 30 and away with 5 bairns.
I just think sometimes some kids, you know, their parents, you know, it depends on the disability, right? So some kids do miss out on a certain time, you know.
Oh, aye, it does depend on the disability, you're right. I mean, mine's was paralysed down the left side and I still am. But, so I couldn't do as much as what I would do normally. Like, I used to drive up me his football, pick him up for his football. And then it turned out that we were friendly with the coach anyway, so the coach used to pick him up and bring him back. He was always at the village. I mean, I've stayed in this village for...
Yeah, can I just, like, finish, though?
Sorry,
because it's
sorry.
really frustrating. I hadn't finished. People keep talking over me.
I'm
and I've
sorry,
got
just
to
tell me to shut up.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
just going to take my platform back because everyone's done it to me all night and I'm sitting here patiently. I've been on here all day. I just want to have a say on my own platform.
Yeah.
You know, when I go on people's boxes, I don't tend to do that a lot because they do it a lot then as well. So at least I can have my
I'm sorry, you should have
platform.
said that.
But no,
kid.
it's fine. I was just saying, yeah, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to say that, you know, there were some parents, they do, you know, have a severe type of disability and the kids aren't doing the activities with other children. They're missing out on certain things, sleepovers, you know, important things that they might be missing out of, you know, as children are. And I've heard, you know, a couple of stories of adults, you know, grown up saying, well, I didn't really have much of a childhood because I was a carer for my mum, you know, and it's a difficult one. But however, there's no other choice really, is there? Do you know what I mean? It's a hard one.
But I think it's better to be like you know, like when you get to secondary, because a lot of people don't know how to actually like fend for themselves when they're older. I've got girlfriends and kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just taking this off. It's really...
I think
Well,
there's
we
minor
don't do that.
situations and then there's
Oh,
like
that's
big
better.
situations, isn't there? It's dependent on the
Like, I didn't
Angie
need,
said.
like, full-time care. If you came what I mean, like, he wasn't, like...
But some are full-time. Are some full-time, actually? I don't know. Are some kids the full-time carers?
It depends how bad they are, innit?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I think it'd be more like loading the washing machine, unloading the washing machine, putting the washing out. I don't think it's as severe as you have to give your mum a wash or
No,
you
no,
have to
you didn't
take
have
them
to
to
do
the
that.
toilet. I think it's just the extra help round the house that mum would normally do. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but not all are like that, Dolly. Though,
Yeah,
are
that's
they?
what I'm
Sometimes.
saying. It's
Depends on someone's disability. It might be more like, could be everything to showering, toilet. I mean,
honestly,
is
I'm
that
going
fair
to
on
say
the
I don't
child?
know. I'm going to say
Is that unfair on a child to be taking your parents to the toilet and stuff? I don't know.
It's weird though, but you could do it as an adult to your elderly. Like if my mum was poorly, my mum's 77, if she got to the point where she needed help that way, I'd gladly do it now I'm in my 40s. But that's still my mum, isn't it?
Your way of thinking's different though, isn't it, when you're a child?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Why are children being carers for their parents? Is that because a carer can't come in the house? Or there's not enough staff? Or?
Probably the way that they treat you as well, isn't it? Like some of them treat you like horrible.
That's what I was going to say, is that there shouldn't be children that have to care for their parents. There should be something out there that can do that so that a child doesn't have to do that. And unfortunately, there is a lot of children that do full-time care.
So there's this thing that my daughter goes to. It's called.
Oh, hello, Torian.
I thought you fell asleep.
No, I was just listening in, but no, I was just listening to you guys. But there's this thing that my daughter goes to. It's called Young Carers. Obviously, because my son is autistic and ADHD and stuff, and obviously a lot of my not necessarily attention, but obviously he requires a lot of my time. So she goes to this thing called Young Care where they'll come, they'll take her out, they'll go like bowling, they'll do little activities, they'll like speak to her, like just obviously speak to me, make sure that I'm like involving her and stuff like that. So there is certain things that you can actually look into. It's called Young Carers. So it's for basically people that have children or know people or whatever and have younger kids or older, whatever it is, that are obviously still children in the household. It's really, really good. Really good. They help me a lot.
Yeah, my neighbours, that one of their sons goes to the Young Carers group because his brother's
Yeah, it's funded.
autistic.
Sorry, Zoe. Yeah, it's funded, guys. It's funded. It's for free. You don't have to pay anything.
And isn't there something called like the family fund as well?
Yeah, family fund is basically you can apply for things that you need. So like you can if you need like a weekend away, so they'll do like Haven Butlin breaks, or if you need
I was just
sensory
going to say that,
items,
Tori, 'cause I
sheds,
used to get that with my youngest.
TVs, all that stuff.
They get like pontins for the week and stuff like
Who
that.
goes on holiday here?
No, so family
Yeah.
fund you can apply for like a holiday away. Like it's not a holiday, it's just like a weekend. It can be like in Haven.
Andy's eyes just lit up there. It's like,
I know,
yeah,
innit?
who was? I need a holiday.
It's like a UK holiday, like Butlins or Haven for your family.
But it's not just that. You can apply for like white goods and things
Yeah,
like
and
that.
goods, yeah. Sensory items, a shed,
There's a lot of things you can apply for,
decorating.
isn't there?
There's loads and loads of stuff you can apply for on there.
Whereas if you've got honestly, if you've got children that need
Caravan holiday
extra
for
help,
me.
there's so much you can apply
That's
for.
it, and
Like
Butlins.
that what you said then, Tori, and it's called
Say that again, sorry.
that you said
Ask
then.
your
You know, where they
question,
take the
Tori.
kids out. When I'm like I say, my youngest is 25 now, but when I lived in Manchester, it was called PCH. And it was
Oh,
parents
right.
and children.
It's called Younger Carers here.
Tori, can I ask
Yeah,
you a
and they used to
question?
take
So,
them like on every like 3 days a week or 2 days a week. They take them bowling or
Yeah, they'll take them
cinemas
places.
or
tapping
somewhere
my
like
mic, sorry.
somebody coming to pick them up from the house and they take them somewhere.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
can I
And
ask you a question?
that was just to give me a
Julian?
break
Wait,
because my youngest one was so hard work. He had ADHD and it was bad.
I think Sarah's got
Yeah.
ADHD.
I
Can I
have.
ask you guys a question, right? A serious question, actually. Right. So my mum is 76, right?
You're
So
a
I
carer.
was thinking, yeah, well, that's what I was thinking as to, no, I'll care for her. I won't want to care her. I was thinking of the carer's allowance.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're a carer, so
Yeah.
you get to
So
go on
if I
holiday.
register being a carer for my mum,
You go on holiday.
no, it's not about the holidays, but I'm just saying I think she's about time she's a carer. But she does go out quite a lot, lives an independent life. But is that still okay?
Just register Bubbalusha as your carer, Ange.
I
It has to
buy
be
it.
diagnosed with something, Angela.
Doesn't the
That's
person
me.
have to be on PIP?
I think she got dementia.
If your mum gets any sickness kind of benefit, then you can apply for carers.
Yeah, she said that to me once, Tori. She said, why don't you apply for carer's allowance and we will split the money?
Sheila.
She'd obviously want to cut our Sheila, wouldn't she?
Oh, she was joking, guys. Don't put on this white piece.
What, Angie? Do you know what the funniest thing
£38
is?
a week,
You know,
Andy. It's
you've
not that
got-
much.
You know,
I have to look after her 35 weeks. Oh, for God's sake, forget that.
you know, you've got
£40 each.
BPD or whatever, and do you get a bit pip or something?
Huh? Do you get me?
Pip for anything? Your own can.
I do get pip. Yeah, I get pip.
Your
yeah.
mum can actually claim carer for you.
Yeah, your mum can claim
Yeah.
it for you, on Jeff.
Good, yeah.
It's £70 a week.
Yeah, but do I need to be diagnosed? Oh, well, I am
Yeah,
diagnosed.
you've got PIP, Ange.
No,
you
because
want
you already
that,
claimed
then
PIP,
no,
so you
you
can
get
get
that
Do
it.
I do nothing for me?
If you're already
You
getting
can
that
rub it in her
benefit,
face
you
and
must
I'll
get the
just say,
70
look,
quid a
Mum.
month to go 50-50. Angie, did you clean the Hoover?
I can imagine caring for my mum and my mum being on in a wheelchair, caring for her, taking her to see the ducks and all of this, and she'd do my head in. I'll probably push her. I'll probably have to wheel her into the bloody pond.
Go feed the
Did you
ducks.
clean?
Yeah, I push her straight in that wheelchair in that pond.
I need to speak I need to speak to Sheila that she'll get an extra £70 for carers for you. And she'll be
I'll just, you know what happened? I'll just come back with a bloody wheelchair.
I could just imagine you pushing it, just like slow down and you're having the best time for your life, running.
Oh my God, no. I'll wheel it down the road. I'll wheel it and that's it. Goodbye, off.
Is there a big hill near you, Anne?
Yeah, take her to the top of a hill and let go.
Comes out of Mum's
Oh my God, thanks, Emma. You're still in there.
No
So
breaks.
Come have a pension. Oh, bloody hell. You can claim your own carers. It's called severe. I don't have severe disability. Are you on PIP, Torian?
No, I wish.
I'm an active my own carers now.
It's not easy to get PIP. You know what? I phoned them once and said I phoned them once and said I think I could stop my PIP. I feel better a little bit. You know, my condition's better. They turned around and said, "Don't work like that." And I said, "Okay, keep me on it then."
Yeah, because you got to go.
Let me ask you a little question,
go
yeah?
through all the assessments and they ask you loads of questions.
Let me ask you guys a question, yeah? Do you guys think people with ADHD should be allowed PIP or disability? And be honest.
I think it depends on how much it affects them.
I've got special needs and I get it from my special needs.
I think it truly depends how
I think they should. I think they should be able to, but I'm just
Torian,
asking you
I'm not
guys what
gonna-
your opinions are.
Torian, I'm not going to lie, yeah, the amount of people who have ADHD on TikTok, I would say no. Because it will be broke, the country will be poor. How many people got ADHD on here? Every other person.
It's if it affects their daily living, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the whole point of PIP, isn't it?
You know what my nan did years ago? My nan used to claim carers allowance, and she got it because she was supposed to pay the carers with it. She used to have carers come twice a day, and she was supposed to pay the carers with that, and she never paid them. And we wondered why she'd got all this money stacking up in her bank account. And then we got this bill from the carers. She'd never paid it, but obviously once she passed away, there was nothing could be done. My nana had all this money from the carers. She never paid them. She just took the carers allowance. We was like, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell was that? So, but you can't get it yourself to pay the carers now.
Oh, thank you.
I'll tell you, it's so different from yours to what it's like here in Australia. It's so different.
Do you have as many benefits as us?
I'll be real. I think the UK have one of the best. Like, we're lucky in a sense. Like, we have actually one of the best benefit, welfare, whatever. So even though it's shit, like in the sense of like housing and that is a crisis, but we actually have one of the bests, to be fair.
It is shit, but at least it's free. Like, you can't complain too much.
Victorian, the reason why there's a housing crisis is because we're overflowing. You know, we're drowning of people. I mean, it's ridiculous how many people in the country. And I'm not talking about immigration. I'm just talking about people.
Yeah, but that's because, Angie, this country, it caters to everyone. So, for instance, if we was to go America as British people, we wouldn't be allowed to apply for like their welfare and their benefits. But people that come here are able to do so. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But in a sense, that's why I think people feel like, oh, it's overpopulated. I think it's just this country helps. Like, you don't have to be a British citizen in that sense.
Yeah, but Torian, help or what? It's a small island. So we're so tiny, and we've got 7 million in London alone. In my country, New Zealand, we've got probably about 6 million now, yeah? In the whole country. There's 7 million just in a city. In London, that's ridiculous. So you can't help it. Even though you want to help people, you cannot help the world. If you help the world, you will struggle yourself. Where your own family will be on a waiting list for 2 years. You'll be seeing 10-hour waiting lists in the A&E when your family are waiting to see a doctor. You know, and you could say shortage of doctors. Yes, I get that. But however, more people, you need more doctors. So, you know, we're underfunding. You know, we don't have the finances because there's too many people in this country. We want to help people. You can't do it unless you want your own family to struggle. Because that's what's going to happen. We're living on top
It's
of each
already
other.
happening, isn't it?
And it's not because it's not about racism. It's not. I'm not talking about just a certain color or anything like that. I'm just talking about helping people. We've got to stop because I'm telling you, your own schools are overpopulated. You know, your own family are being affected every day.
It's like
Go take your child to a hospital. You have to wait 7 hours. Child doesn't matter.
Longer.
Your child, no. There's probably about 10 children waiting ahead of yours. Do you know what I mean? Skills, education. No, well, it's overpopulated. Your child's not going to, learn with an overpopulated classroom, right? Housing. You're looking for a house. Forget it, because someone that comes to the country, they've got 5 kids. You've got 1. Forget it. You're on the back burner. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're got to look after yourself. You're affecting your own family. You can't help the world, and that's a fact.
Yeah, it is.
You want to help people, but you can't. We're not America. America's huge.
But America's so strict with how they let people in.
Probably, but they could. Yeah,
to be
that's
fair,
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is just the country being full. I don't care what country, what color you are. You know what I mean?
to be fair, I think the
happening here in
children's was
Australia.
the children's was better than the adults because my children just go in straight away. The adults I went for hours.
Australia's quite
Yeah.
strict with letting people in
Oh,
as well,
yeah.
isn't it, Ali?
They're very strict about letting people in. Same as New Zealand.
I don't.
They give you a medical. You got certain condition. You won't go in.
Is there still a to if you want to emigrate to Australia now? Like, isn't it you have to have a certain amount in the bank? You have to have a certain score rating
Really?
on. Like, if you've got family over there, can you work? Have you got an education to provide for? Get a job, and I'm sure it's something like that, isn't it? Not like the £10
Yeah.
boat that it was back
Yeah,
in the
10
what is it?
Yeah,
Is it the £10 boat?
Can I just say, you're looking at Ukraine. Look, this is a good example, right? Ukraine, right? We've got to be humane. I get it. I do understand, right? But the government was offering 300 quid for rent for a family that you don't even, these people, you don't even know these people. Could be nuts, that you're letting into your house. We've got veterans sleeping on the street, homeless sleeping on the street. And I do understand with some homeless, it's like they sometimes, in some ways, do choose it because of sometimes they've been thrown out where they were living. Yeah, but we've got them, and you've got then Ukraine, and then the government paying 300 quid for these people to, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense. It's like,
all the veterans that are out there on the streets as well that have got nowhere to go. Why are we not putting them in people's houses first before we're putting people from another country in? Do you know what I mean?
and all I'm saying is,
I'd house a veteran for free rather than take
and
£300
people always say it's racism. No, you're the one saying it's. You're the racist one for saying it's racism because you're seeing a migrant as non-white. So why are you saying it's racism? Because people say I'm an immigrant. I'm not, but however, an immigrant can be of any color. If you're looking at immigrants as just a non-white person, then you're being that's just a racist. That's racist.
Angie, how long have you been in the UK?
Since I was 16.
You've still got your accent though.
It's never get rid of the Kiwi.
Oh gosh, you got to remember, American. That they could be an immigrant in this country.
My mum's
Oh,
German, so
right in.
she's an immigrant as well.
Would you ever go back to New
What I'm
Zealand?
saying is, it's
Angie?
just so overpopulated, man.
Yeah.
Would you ever
I
go back
totally
to
agree
New
with you
Zealand,
because
Angie?
it's starting to get the same here in Australia. It's getting worse, like with housing. It's an absolute crisis here. Hospitals, that's another one we're having a problem with. You've got a waiting list longer than my arm. It's long. You're waiting. So, yeah, food's going up, everything's going up. There's people living on the streets who can't, you're just suffering. It's really bad here.
And listen, I don't blame people for wanting to better their life, better their family's life. But however, people in this country, when you're like I said, waiting on a waiting list for a doctor and you're waiting 3 years because there's a whole list of people in front of you, that's what you've done. You've done that. You know what I mean?
I'm not trauma dumping. I'm in court in November, Crown Court, and I'm a victim, and I was put through the mental health team 2 years down the line, and I'm still on a waiting list. And I
Yeah.
said to the lady who's dealing with my case, what's the point? Because by the time I get to see somebody, the case will be over and done with.
Yep.
It'll be over and done with. So there'll be no point of me having that support that I should have had before.
Yeah.
So you're right, Ange.
It's the same like the medical system. To get a doctor appointment is absolutely crazy. You wait weeks just to speak to a doctor.
Yeah.
You know what? These people,
That
these
is fucked.
stupid people keep saying it's because we're underfunded. But why are we underfunded? Because we have too many people. You know, it's just logic, isn't it? More people, you need more money.
Mm.
And we need more, you know, doctors and, you know, and yeah, you know, and like I said, if people come to this country, I think, you know, a lot of people, doctors, they're not from this country and they're amazing, you know. So, but however, you do get some people, illegals mainly, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I watched this program a few years ago where a man had come and he was claiming child benefit and child tax credit for children that was still living in his home country. How does that even happen?
Yeah, well, you have to wonder.
Government is spending money on wars. Absolutely. I think that has nothing to do with us. Why do we have to always, why do we always have to poke our nose into other people's business, you know, in other countries?
Do you know what I said to my husband the other day? I said, do you know what they need to do? Everybody needs to leave the army, and then you get the presidents or whoever's having the beef, put them in a wrestling match, put them in a nice glittery outfit, and let them beef it out. Let them put it on telly.
Can I say something? Some of you lot might not like me here, but I think the people that abuse the benefits are British people.
Yeah,
More than
I
immigrants.
agree.
I'm not
to
gonna
be honest.
lie, and I'm not even saying that to start anything. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, a lot of people. One second, let me just land. Yeah, a lot of people complain about people having all these benefits and they don't need it, and then you hear about all these other people that are applying for all these things and they're fine. Like, I feel like a lot of people that abuse the benefits are British people, and that's not even me being an idiot. I'm being serious.
Can I say that to them first? And I say to those people, good on you, right? Because, you know, this is your country. Yeah? Completely different to someone coming into the country that you live in, the country that you were born in, doing that same thing. That's how I see it.
I agree to disagree, man.
You're coming to this country, no, facts, thank you, BS. When you're coming to this country to abuse the system, yeah, and you weren't even born here, yeah, no. Some people, even that are abusing the system, have paid their national insurance, whatever you call it. They have worked, right? So they should, in my opinion, be getting it. I don't care because
But
the government.
What about the British people though that have never
They
worked?
fiddle the expenses and all that, don't they? Anyway, but I don't feel people from other countries around the world should come here to abuse our system. I know that you're probably thinking, what? I really do. Because a lot of people on benefits now, Torian, probably have worked, right? And they have paid whatever their stamps, whatever you call it. They have paid their way, right? Not everyone.
Listen, I'm all for taking whatever money you can from the government. I don't care, but I'm just saying, I just feel like.
And it's not just talking about benefits. We're not talking about benefits. No, but what I'm saying is I think that if someone that's British, that's born in, that lived in, that's even probably worked here, gone to school and all that kind of thing, so be it. If they're abusing this, I'm not saying anyone should abuse the system. Don't do it, guys. I'm a host. I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm saying if you want benefits, good for you. You want benefits.
I think there's a difference between
one sec, you're British. You're British. You have no right to come from another country, whether it's America, Australia, and abuse the system. Number one. And number two,
It's all cracked up to be as well. The looks you get because you're on benefits as a person on benefits.
But it's not just about benefits. But Torian, it's not just about benefits either. It's about people, the NHS. It's all of that. NHS, schooling, housing. It's all of that. People that come to this country, in my opinion, if they have 5 kids, they get a house over someone that's British. I don't think that's right.
But there's a difference
I don't think it's
between.
right that someone is desperate to come into this country that is bypassing France.
See,
But
the
their
difference,
first country of safety.
yeah. See, the difference is here, it's, getting back to the fraud thing, it's both. And with, while I say that, there's been generation people here been on the dole, like fathers, sons, daughters, when they grow up, their kids do the same thing. It's a generation thing here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's like where I live. There's loads of people around where I live that where their grandparents were on benefits, then their parents, then them, and they've never worked. They've got they don't like their house. They'll just get a new one tomorrow, and they're British people. Why should they be allowed to? Why should they be allowed to take money off taxpayers just because they're British?
Yeah. And with the,
No, okay, listen, I'm not, okay, maybe that's not correct. But however, they have more of a right in my eyes because you're British. You have more of a right to do.
But I see it as there's a difference between taking what you're entitled to and taking because you can't be bothered, and then taking from taxpayers. Like, for example, I've got no qualms. I get carers for my daughter. She gets DLA because she's disabled. I take that because I'm entitled to it, because she's entitled to it. But there's a difference between somebody who doesn't work, never worked, and they're just taking it because they don't want to work and they just want the money. There's a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, but that's still different to, but having an overpopulated country, and we still have an overpopulated country.
Yeah, we still do, but it doesn't, just because you're British, that doesn't mean that you could also scam the money from the government.
No, I don't mean it.
I think it came out, it didn't come out quite right.
and the thing is,
I'm doing it, just kidding.
I worked when I was 17.
I don't mean it like that.
And the thing is too, these people have done this for generations and stuff. They, unfortunately, they made it hard for people who do really desperately need housing and all that, social security and all that crap, and they can't get it because, they stuffed it up for other people.
Yeah, it's when I was basically becoming homeless with my daughter who's disabled, and they said to me I had to wait 5 years to get a house. And I was like, what? Like, I need a house like now, not in 5 years.
Exactly. I mean, to get a housing trust or commission home, you literally have to be clinically dead. There's no way you can get one now. There's just none around anymore.
It's the
And
same
I'm
how
going
it
to
is
drop now.
here.
Thanks for letting me up.
Thank you.
Zoe.
It's really hard here. I mean, like, people are living in cars, living in tents.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder here.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, especially here where I live.
In this country, the problem with this country, they don't help their own.
Yeah, well, you'll be waiting.
Too busy poking their noses into what's happening around the world and all that kind of thing. They're not helping their own, but wanting to help everyone else but their own. At least with America, give them America this. Yeah, they help. It's always America first. It's always America first. Listen, I don't agree with a lot of the things that's happening in America right now, though. But however, that's one thing I do. I do think that they do. But this country, they don't give a shit about the homeless or the veterans, but living on the street. They want to help everyone else that comes here.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's my opinion.
Yeah. See, the veterans over America are treated like crap. I mean, I don't know what it's like in the UK. In Australia, we're pretty good with the veterans here. But in America, they get treated like crap. They're, like you said, they're on the streets and everything,
Well, I don't mean what's going on in America now. I agree with. I'm not saying that. I don't. I'm just talking about there was it. Maybe not. It's not. Maybe now, but there was a time. It was always America first, and it's still that way. And it's still that way. That's one thing I give them. They do look after their own first. What they have done. Well, God knows it's gone a bit crap over there now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone to pot over there. Really has.
Yeah. Well, the government has it's always been America first, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Where I stay, it used to just be a wee village. If you ever bothered to look it up, Angie, it was Walliford I stay in, right? It's in Scotland, and you're lucky if there was 2,000 houses in the whole village, right? And everything else was greenery, with farm animals, everything like that. See now, there must be about 10,000 houses built in Walliford now.
That's what it was like where I live.
It's a village.
Yeah. Sorry, where I live, it was a village as well, and now it's classed as a town. There's literally, we had fields and beautiful woods and everything all round, and now there's just houses, almost like it's piled on top of each other.
Exactly. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's overpopulated. It's not about racism, not about any of that. It's overpopulated.
Yeah, it's like that here. Same thing. All our greenery is slowly going. You know, it's all housing getting built and all sorts now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, Mr. Madness, you're right.
And it's amazing how quick they throw up the houses to come out.
There's houses going up right next to me, and there's literally, I feel like they've built 5 houses in a week. That's what it feels like, how quick it's gone up.
We had a fire down my street, and it was in a flat, but to look at it looked like 2 houses, but it was 4 flats, so 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. They knocked them down, and in that area, they built 3 3-bedroomed houses and 3 1-bedroom bungalows.
Yeah. That's what it's like around here. You get 2 bedrooms, small yard, courtyard, you know, and it's next to each other. You can literally jump from one roof to the other. That's how close it got them together now. So much of in the old days, you used to have a big backyard. You know, you could swing a cat around and it wouldn't get concussed.
They squeeze so many houses together that the houses are like shoe boxes. Like you couldn't fit a normal single bed and a wardrobe here because it just would not fit.
Exactly. Come on, you all have to admit there's a problem here.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I agree. There is a big problem with it.
I know you're London or whatever, but I'm in Scotland, and in the town that I'm in, even other outskirts of it, any greenery is just getting built on top of now.